Baby, let's forget the past, we could kill the games. Cause I'm missing you, I'm hoping that you feel the same. Staying up late nights and I can feel the pain. You know it only gets sunny when you feel the rain. And I can see your skin reflecting in the moonlight. Like the candles, I'm just trying to get the mood right. Damn, look at all the time that we wasted. But what's the damn odds that we'll make it? Forget the outside, cause they don't know the history. If you could read my mind and you'll know what you meant to me. They say time heals wounds even mentally. You know you gotta let it go if it's meant to be. And if it's meant for you, then it's meant for me. I'm feeling you, I know you feeling me. All you gotta do is keep it real with me. I'm so toxic, how you deal with me?
I can hear you like an echo. I can't let go of you, no. Are you waiting up for my call? Do you think of me at all? If we ran out of money, my jokes stop being funny, will you stand by me, honey? Oh, oh, oh. If I told you all my secrets, you knew my deepest regrets, am I still who you be? Oh, yeah. Back in love, like we're on a Paris street, and I'm on my knees. Say you still want me.
Get the likes up, let's go. Get the likes up, let's go. Look, I apologize for telling lies, for every night you stayed up and all the times you cried. Broken hearts on timelines, trapped in our confines. Love's a contract, signing blood on dotted lines. We perfect on the ground, but in person we a mess. All the filters in the world couldn't cover up this mess. We was goals to the people, but the love couldn't last. Posting pictures of the future, but we stuck in the past. We would argue every Friday, make up every Sunday, breaking up at midnight, back together Monday. Love is like a cycle, spin around on the runway, crashing every season, but taking off the same way. Say you want the truth, but you crumble when it's shown. You the type to break the windows and complain about the stone. See, I deleted all the text, but screenshots never lie. I was saying I was working, but I was really outside. I was caught up in the cycle, I can't seem to let it end. I was breaking every vow, but swearing I'll amend. I'm faithful on the ground, but a villain in the flesh. Two faces in the mirror, both toxic, both a mess.
I used to believe in you, hung on to every word you said. Thought it was me and you, but you had other plans instead. You couldn't stay true, you welcomed her into our bed. You must have lost your mind, you must be out your head, yeah. 'Cause you're a thief, you're a liar, I'll bring rain, I'll bring fire, and you won't know peace. You're a clown, you're a fool, and the joke's on you, 'cause you messed with me. I don't get hurt, no, I get even. Best believe it's heartbreak season. I'll bring rain and I'll bring fire, and you won't know peace. You won't know peace, no. You won't know peace. You won't know peace, no, no. You won't know peace. Best believe it's heartbreak season.
Hey, know I'm tone bot, know I'm tone bot, know I'm tone bot. We back, Ratchet Gang. We back with another one. We back with another banger. Let's get the likes up. Look, you might have forgot. Hell, they might have forgot. But you already know it's the king. Too loyal, no, I'm talking about Ratchet TV. Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Get the likes up if you in the building. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell so you can get the drop whenever I drop. So boom. Man. We gotta talk, Ratchet Gang. We gotta chop it up. Look, tonight we back to the content. We off the BS. We gotta chop it up about this Emmanuel Horror situation. We did a very good live covering this situation, and we will continue to cover this situation until we get justice for baby Emmanuel Haro. And I think we all could just say RIP to him, drop the prayer hands for Emmanuel Haro, because his parents did what they did, allegedly, and everything I say is alleged, and it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video and in the description of all my videos. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is just to educate my people on what we've been covering over here. Like I said, it's all under the Fair Use Act, and you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video. And everything I say is alleged. Allegedly, y'all. But it's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, on the scenes, around the scenes, covering this situation. It's a crazy and sad situation. It's very sad and unfortunate that we even have to cover such topics, but we're here and we're gonna see this through. So salute to the gang, man. Salute to Ratchet Gang for pulling up, popping out, showing up, and showing out. Let me get everybody to double tap their screen right now and get these likes up. Come on, y'all. We should be at 200 likes by now. Let's go. Come on, y'all. What we doing? Double tap that screen and get these likes up, man. I think y'all loose tonight. I think y'all are loose tonight because it's Friday night. I think y'all just loose because it's Friday. Well, let's get our ish together. I don't give a damn what day of the week it is. We got to chop it up, gang. So everybody get the likes up. Let's get into this damn content tonight. The mom and dad, it's like, fam, they just keep running play after play after play. But I can tell you right now that the family is split apart. And when I mean the family, I mean the mama and the daddy. They are completely split at the middle because the daddy is telling one version, the mother is telling another one. The dad even tried to save the mom and throw himself under the bus, but the mama just did not. She just stuck with the play. It's like she does not. No, we're gonna see this play through. She's still saying he was kidnapped. She's still sticking to that story. Now, allegedly, the daddy been talking while he's been locked up. Allegedly, the dad been doing interviews. Allegedly, the dad has kind of admitted that, okay, we did do, something did happen. Something did go on with baby Emmanuel. We buried him because we wanted him close to us. I did this on accident. It was the mama saying, no, I was definitely knocked out. He definitely got kidnapped, and I'm definitely still looking for him. And this is 100% happened. The mama is sticking with that story, which is going to ultimately bite her right in her whoop-de-whoop. This is going to bite her right in her whoop-de-whoop when this is all said and done. Trust me and believe me, the mama is going to jail right with the daddy. He even tried to say, look, man, she ain't got nothing to do with this stuff, man. The mama ain't got nothing to do with it, man. I did this. Allegedly. That's what he came out and said. But then the mom was like, nah, I was knocked out, man. I don't remember nothing, but I definitely was knocked out. And I woke up and the lady crazy as hell. She's sticking with that damn story. So we're going to see how this plays out in the end. Let me do a poll real quick. I want to know how y'all feel. Give me a second. I want to know how y'all feel in the chat. Salute to So Sunny for that membership. I appreciate you, So Sunny. Also, Angie, thank you for being a member for 41 months. Thank you for all that you do and still doing. You're the best, Ratchet. Salute to Angie. You're the best. Thank you for being a member for 41 months. Everybody drop them flowers for Angie. Salute. All right, let me do a poll real quick, man. Should the parents go down for baby Emmanuel. All right. Yes, they unalived him. Let them go free. All right, what do y'all think? Should they be locked up or should they be free? What do y'all think about the parents, man? Somebody in the chat, let me know. What do y'all think about the parents? Should they let the parents go? Should the parents go down? I want to know how y'all feel in the chat. Everybody vote on that poll in the chat right there. Everybody vote on that poll. All right, I want to know what y'all think about that. So tonight, we're going to be uncovering everything from top to bottom of what the hell this family, and when I say the family, I mean the mother and the father. That's my sole focus. No matter what else, that is the sole focus for me, is the mother and the father. They must go down for what they did to baby Emmanuel, in my eyes. So we about to chop it up about this. And yeah, I got a lot of content to cover with this tonight. So I do want to go over it's a lot of videos, but it's some certain information that I want to go over in detail so no one gets left behind or lost. I want to show y'all exactly how this play is being ran. And I don't even know that they even find the body at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think whatever they did, this is my opinion, and I hope I'm wrong. But what I gauged from this, my opinion, again, remember, this is what I believe. I don't know this to be a fact. I'm just going off of what I'm viewing, because the daddy immediately said they were looking for him. They both stuck to the story. Then all of a sudden he gets locked up. Then the story starts changing. You start hearing that there was a fake inmate in there with him. The police say this is not true, but I'm gonna be real. I think the police are lying and they don't want to give up how they're obtaining information, because allegedly they're saying, which I don't believe this is true, because if I don't even believe he could find a lawyer. Let's make this make sense real quick. I don't think he confessed to the police. Maybe he did. I just don't think he made a confession directly to the police. I think that they obtained that information because they sent that person in there. Somehow the internet got the information. And I know this could be true because it's happened to me before. It didn't happen to me this time. I'm not taking the credit for this. So I know people be jumping in the comments. There you go, Ratchet. You taking credit? No, I'm not. I'm trying to make a point. So if you go back to the Carly Russell situation, I ended up getting I could not get the official police report that she made, but I had some people that worked in some places. I'm just going to say I had some very close friends in that situation. I ended up obtaining the information of what exactly happened to her and what she said happened. As far as her whole story, I was the first one on the internet to jump with that information 3 days before the police released it. The police never would acknowledge what I did, but 3 days before the information, the police did their press conference and told everybody it was a hoax. I had the whole thing. I told everybody this is exactly what happened. So people getting this information about what happened in that jail, I'm only trying to say it's very likely that that information probably is true, because I know that information gets leaked all the time. I don't give a fuck if they work at the police station, the courts. I done got court people to leak me shit. I done got people that work in police departments. I done got all type of people to give me stuff that they should not be giving me, or tell me stuff that it's been people like, hey, look, I could lose my job for this, but hey, check this out. Whoopty, 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 whoop. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you the actual paperwork, then they gonna know it came from me. But look, I'm telling you, this is what happened. Just trust me. I'm telling you, run with this story because it's true. I work here. I can't tell you too much as far as, you know what I'm saying? But hey, check this out. I got the information. I know the information you're looking for. Here it go. Just, it didn't come from me. Leave my name out of it. Cool. Confidential source. And that's how a lot of this information gets leaked. So this information might be true. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the dad actually confessed to a inmate, or do you think that he made that confession to the police? Because if you think about it, the police come pick him up and they go take him out to a field. But I'm thinking that he told this inmate some shit. I'm thinking that he led this inmate to give the police that information and made them go get up and take him to that field. I don't think he necessarily told them, because if that was the case, I wouldn't see a lawyer taking this case if he did that. You know what I'm saying? What is there to defend? Nigga, you definitely told them that you did this. Like, you told them in a interrogation room without me. You told them you did this, so there's really nothing I can do here for you. You told them you did it, so you're probably gonna go down for it.
I don't really see a lawyer taking that case if that was the case. So I'm thinking that they obtained this information through a third party. And that's why they acting the way they are about the internet. Because they're not happy about the internet getting this information. But I'm not saying the news is always wrong, or I'm not saying the news is always right, but the news is also starting to report the stuff that the internet is saying. So if everybody is saying the same thing, there might be some truth somewhere. If everybody, like I could get if one side saying one thing and one side saying another, then you kind of like, I don't know, man, I just believe what I believe. But in this instant, it's not very often that the internet and the news work side by side. It's new media and old media usually don't sync up, but this is for a baby, so it's looking like everybody wants this information out. They don't give a damn. So all the information is syncing, and this is the way it should be all the time for new media and old media. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is a lot of information is being leaked, and I believe it to be true. Do you guys think the information that's being leaked is true or false? If you think it's true, drop the gems in the chat. If you think it's false, drop the caps. If you think this information is being leaked on the internet, as far as the dad making a confession to a fake inmate, all the other stuff they're saying that happened in jail, drop the gems. If you think it's fake, drop the caps. Let me know right now. We finna get to this content. We about to get to this content in a minute, man. Man. All right. So we got 200 likes and $0 on the screen. Yeah, this is a loose Friday. I don't know what y'all got going on, but double tap your screen, man, and get these likes up. Let's go. All right. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate all y'all for pulling up, but let's get to this content. I got a lot of videos that we're going to go over in detail. So I want y'all to just put your thinking hats on, and we're going to just have to figure out what necessarily happened to baby Emmanuel. Because my opinion, let me land the plane right here before I start the content. This is my opinion. I feel like something gruesome happened in that house. And I feel like whatever they did, I just don't feel like it's just one, I don't feel like it's just going to be baby Emmanuel that they find, if they find anything. I think it's going to be pieces. You get what I'm saying? I know it sounds fucked up, but I hope I'm wrong. This is just from my understanding, because if this was something that he's saying happened and he confessed to it, and if they would have went out, they would have found something. I don't think they're going to find anything, because I think he did a lot of weird shit, bro. I think that they got rid of all the baby clothes. They got rid of every picture of the baby. They got rid of every detail that ever happened to this baby. Salute Big Baby for the $5. I appreciate you. They got rid of every detail that ever came from this baby. Like, you literally took out all the clothes, the toys. You took out all the pictures, the memories. It's like you wanted this to disappear. So I think you did everything in your power to make that happen. I think you made him disappear in many different ways. And I think that you just did some gruesome stuff. Hope I'm wrong, but that's what I get from the dad. And I think the mama knows, and I think he been putting hands on the mama. I think he been putting hands on the kid. I think he just been doing a lot of weird shit. This dude is just a sick person, just a weird person. I think he had a fetish for harming the little ones, bro. Like, that's just my opinion. And so I'm gonna say allegedly, but he got charged with this before, and the details that came from that story, I don't know, man. This dude should have been locked up a long time ago. So yeah, I think that the system dropped the ball with this one, and as you see, they failed. So let's continue where we picked up off last time, and we're gonna get into all this information. Give me a second while I load these videos up. I think this is the one. So
It was 2 weeks ago today.
Yeah, we're gonna start right here. All right, hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, let me turn this around. All right, let's go. All right, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. All right, so here we go, gang. Man. Let's get to these videos, and we're going to chop it up, man.
That Jake and Rebecca Harrow told police that their 7-month-old son, Emmanuel, had been kidnapped by an unknown and unidentifiable attacker who knocked Rebecca out in the parking lot of a sporting goods store. Yeah, right. Which is a terrifying story that caught the attention of the nation, right? Especially when authorities in Riverside, California called it BS. As you probably know, the Harrows are both now charged with murder in their son Emmanuel's disappearance. They're also charged with lying, not to us, but to the police, because that is a crime. And 2 weeks later, there's still no trace of baby Emmanuel, who police now say may have been killed as early as August 5th.
So now details are coming out that baby Emmanuel might have been deceased around, let me turn that down. Hold on. I hear a damn. Hold on, give me a second. Oops. No, that's that. Okay, my bad. I had to turn my mic down. My bad. All right, there we go. I had to turn my mic down. I kept hearing the damn squeaking noise. My fault. All right, so let's get that. All right, my bad. Let's see if it.
And through it all,
There we go. Hey, y'all can hear me right? All right, bet. I had to fix my damn audio, man. My bad, y'all. So let's get back to it.
both of these suspects remarkably cannot seem to stop telling stories. Last weekend, Rebecca gave a jailhouse interview professing the couple's innocence and declaring Jake a good dad who would never hurt a baby. Though, as we all know, he did hurt a baby, almost killed her. In 2018, he sent his own 10-week-old daughter to the hospital with life-altering injuries. She's now 7 and has been unable to feed herself or look after herself ever since. And now it's apparently Jake's turn to talk to a reporter from jail. A different jail than Rebecca's for sure, but undoubtedly he's flouting the same advice that her lawyer must have given her, which is, don't talk to anyone but me. You're in trouble. In Jake's interview, he didn't specifically declare himself innocent, but he did say he was being, quote, completely cooperative.
So this dude is saying he's been cooperating. He don't know why he's in this situation. This man is a complete psychopath, and I believe he's about to get everything that he came for. His ending is going to be very near, allegedly.
With investigators, I think that part, that's in the eye of the beholder. But he stated flat out to the reporter, and I quote, Rebecca is innocent. She loves her children. He said the DA's theory that baby Emmanuel suffered long-term abuse that led to his death, not true at all, quote unquote, not true at all. But he didn't offer any new accounts of where his son might be or where his son's remains might be to that reporter, that is. To other people, he's told at least 2 different stories.
So yeah, now you see, this is the news reporting the same things. Like, so at this point, I don't believe it to be a rumor. I mean, it's all up for speculation, but at this point, just listen to this story, and it just sounds like this is exactly what happened.
A source tells News Nation that after the Harrows were arrested, Jake told the police that he rolled over on Emmanuel while he was sleeping, accidentally killing the baby, and then, inexplicably, decided to just bury his son's body, in the desert off a highway. Because when you have an accident in bed like that, you're going to just bury your beloved baby just in an unmarked grave somewhere off the highway. That's what we figure led to this arrest, right? And then, of course, Sunday's total boondoggle in the grass there, where an alleged child killer accompanies police on an hours-long search in a field alongside said freeway, Highway 60. Wouldn't you know it?
So boom, exactly the information that got leaked is the exact information we're sitting here looking at. Like, this information got leaked and then they're right at the same spot where this, like, come on, police, bro, y'all got to start. I get that y'all saying we got this, but if y'all got it, then why are we, and I'm saying we as in the other side, the new media, why is new media getting all your information? It sounds like y'all don't got a tight-knit group like you thought you had. So it sounds like your information is getting leaked from your people. That's what it sounds like.
This here search didn't turn up anything. Nothing. Weird, right? Because they had cadaver dogs and everything, because if you had dropped that baby there, even if the wildlife had gotten to the baby, the cadaver dogs would have noticed something. And they didn't. And maybe that is because of the next story that Jake told us all. Our Brian Enton learned that while behind bars, Jake told a fake inmate, either a police officer or a civilian informant in disguise, that he was the one who in fact killed his own son and put the child's body in a trash can.
Y'all listening to this? So this is like I said, this is the same information that got leaked on the internet, and they were so mad about the internet saying this. So why y'all don't keep that same energy with the news? Y'all talking, oh man, we getting tired of all these internet sleuths and okay, so the news is saying the same thing we saying. So what's up now? Keep that same energy.
Police officer or a civilian informant in disguise that he was the one who in fact killed his own son and put the child's body in a trash can. It's what you call a Perkins operation, when you infiltrate the jail with a jailhouse snitch, another inmate, or an actual police officer dressed up as an inmate. And you just get the guy talking. They said that's what happened with Jake Harrow. He just talked. That would complicate the search enormously, right? If what he said to this so-called inmate was true, especially if it happened 3 weeks ago.
So he's telling another inmate that this happened 3 weeks ago. It didn't just happen the day that they reported it. They just had to come up with a damn story because they got rid of their damn kid, allegedly. So now this probably happened like around August 5th, because this is what he told the inmate. Around August 5th, he rolled over, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and he just got up and, put him in the trash can. You know what I'm saying? And who would do that to a kid, though? But so let's just say that's true. 3 weeks and you put it in a trash can? I mean, where the fuck did that end up at? You know what I'm saying? Where could that possibly be at?
But the DA said just yesterday that he's got a pretty strong idea of where police should be looking for Emmanuel's body. And I say body because the police assume the child has been murdered, hence the murder charges. And as for that prior conviction for willful child cruelty, which left Jake's tiny victim permanently disabled, Jake told the reporter that he pleaded guilty because, and I quote, "I didn't have the money to go to trial. I didn't have the money to go to trial." He also said he was sick of court and that the judge knows I didn't do it. They just railroaded me. I was the fall guy, quote unquote. And that might just be his biggest lie of all, because as we all know from cop shows, when they read you your Miranda rights, you're told that you have the right to an attorney. And if you cannot afford one will be provided to you.
Thank you for watching.
What do y'all think about that? So this dude just continues to lie. This dude just continues to lie.
So I've learned through sources that Jake Harrow, baby Emmanuel's father, told police that he accidentally rolled over in bed. This is what sources are telling me, and accidentally killed baby Emmanuel, and then buried baby Emmanuel in a place so that he could go there to grieve him, which obviously made no sense. But when you think back to the...
Y'all hear that? He definitely said he buried him in a place so that he could go grieve him. That's why he did it. And that's why they ended up going over there, because he said he buried him right off that highway and he wanted him close enough so he can go grieve him and still see him and him be close.
Weekend, Ashley, when police were out searching with Jake Harrow in the jumpsuit. They had him out there. Very unusual to see that right along the freeway there in that area. It lines up with the story from my sources that he had indicated, and he's had a couple of stories which I'll get into, but with this story that he had indicated to police that he buried baby Emmanuel after accidentally killing him.
So the other question I have for you is the second story. The first story was he tells the police he's rolled over on the baby and buries the baby's body out on, near the highway, clearly leading to those pictures. But then there's a second version of Jake Harrow speaking in jail. What did you learn about this?
Yeah, and this is very interesting. So sources tell me that there was something called a Perkins operation, which is not unusual in California. And this is when either an undercover police officer, or not a police officer, but an informant, basically pretends to be an inmate in the jail to get information out of someone who is in custody. And I am told that there was a Perkins operation involving Jake Harrow, and as a result of that operation, they got information, the detectives, that Jake Harrow had killed baby Emmanuel and had put, and it's awful to say, I mean, it's just awful, but had put baby Emmanuel into a trash can.
So I want to play something from the district attorney in this case, speaking to reporters earlier about the fact that they have a pretty strong idea of where they think baby Emmanuel is. Let's play that.
We have a pretty strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. That investigation is ongoing at this time. The filing in this case reflects our belief that baby Emmanuel was abused, a victim of child abuse over time, and that eventually, because of that abuse, he succumbed to those injuries.
So two questions there. We have a strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. How does that square with this story that police say Jake Harrow told to, the plant in the jail that I killed the baby and threw the baby in a trash can?
Yeah, I mean, look, they must have some other information, because when they're saying that there's been a history of abuse, whether it's information from neighbors or from, who knows, videos or phones or pictures or whatever, where they have now put together a timeline that baby Emmanuel was abused over time. But it's also interesting, Ashley, that at that press conference, the DA was specifically asked, did you get a confession out of Jake Harrow? And he said no, and he almost seemed mad about it, that they were asking about it, and he said no, which would conflict, you would think, with my reporting. And I just want to tell you, I double, triple, quadruple checked. I stand by my reporting. I think we're down to semantics here, and in the legal world, a confession, there's a very, very strict definition of that. And I don't know what the DA's definition of confession is when it comes to what he would want it to be in a court of law, but I stand by my reporting when it comes to the Perkins operation.
See, he's saying I stand by exactly what I'm saying. You can get mad and say that this had nothing to do with whatever, and they were mad about it. They were very upset that information got leaked. So like I said, how they obtained that information, I don't believe they got a confession. I think that they're right about that, but I think that they also don't want to report that they had a fake inmate in there either. And they don't know how that information got out, but they definitely did get a form of a confession because he told that inmate something. He told that inmate a few stories, I believe. I don't think he told the police anything. I think he was telling people in there a few different versions of the story. That's what I think.
And what resulted from that operation, Ashley?
It's hard to believe that they can make the statement, we believe that he was subject to abuse over time, and because of that abuse, he succumbed to his injuries. Does anybody know how they can say that, how they know, or how they can profess to know that this baby had been injured many times and thus died from all that sort of collection of injuries?
No, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. There may be more information that they were able to obtain from the operation in the jail that I just don't know about. Or like I said, it's possible that it seems like they've been hard at work, these investigators. I mean, behind the scenes, they may have gotten evidence, again, neighbors, pictures, maybe there's medical records. I'm not sure, but they were very clear in their latest release that they believe that there's evidence of long-term abuse.
Salute Mimi for those 5 gifted memberships. Salute, salute.
So now, if they're doing the Perkins operation on Jake Harrow, did they do the same thing on Rebecca Harrow in her jail cell?
Yes, that is what my sources say, that there was another Perkins operation for the mom, but a different outcome. I am told that she has stuck to the same story since the beginning, that there was a kidnapping, that her husband, Jake Harrow, would never do anything wrong, that he was a good father, and she hasn't changed her story from what I've been told. Thank you for watching.
So as you see right there, the mama is sticking to her story. The mom is saying, look, it definitely happened. I definitely was knocked out. He definitely was kidnapped, and we're looking for baby Emmanuel. The daddy is saying, nah, I rolled over on him. Then the daddy's saying, I threw him in a trash can. Then he's saying, oh, no, I buried him close so I could grieve him. So the dad is telling a few different versions of the story. The police are not able to they can't get the information. It's inmates that are getting the information. So it's not really a confession because it's from an inmate. So he didn't confess to the police. It's not an official confession, unfortunately.
I don't like making these videos at all. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? I hope you rot in prison. I hope they treat you well. How? It's like my mama heart. It hurt for that little boy. Hurt for that little boy. It's my last update because I just can't anymore. I can't. And knowing he's not gonna get the reunion. How long has he been? How long has he been passed? How long has he been passed? 2 months? 3 months? Till somebody tried to notice, like, hey, where's the little Emmanuel? 1 month? 2 months? How long? How long? How long? How long was it that it was just eating you up alive? I hope you rot. Rot! I hope you rot. Anyone who does that to their own biological child, guess what? They don't like people in prison just like you. They don't like people that hurt children in prison. No. You will get what you deserve. I bet on that. And yeah, I hope you get life. I hope you get 2 life sentences. 2 life sentences. I hope so. But you'll just probably get life. I hope Rebecca does the exact same thing. She knew about it. She knew about it. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. But, throw him in there. Alright, y'all had a good Friday. But I just had to show y'all.
What do y'all think, man? A lot of people are torn in behind this. A lot of people, they can't take covering this.
Hey guys, so right now we are going to do our morning update on the Emmanuel Haro case. In this video, we are going to be talking about a restraining order put on Mary, Rebecca's grandmother / adopted mother, by way of Rebecca, as well as the trash and where the landfill actually is that the trash from the Haro's residence goes to. So on September 2nd, 2005, when Rebecca would have been 21 years old, she requested an order for DV prevention against Mary Boyshausen, her grandmother / adopted mother. On September 14th, 2005, Mary was served this temporary restraining order. She denied any allegations against her. And then on the 23rd, the case was ultimately dismissed. The order was terminated, and that was it. Now, this is the second filing that we have seen of Rebecca trying to do this to someone else. We've seen her do this now with Mary. We also seen her do this with her ex. And her ex reportedly said that they had a normal relationship. So what is her reasoning for making these filings? Is it to get people out of her life? Has Rebecca really been a long-term victim of DV by multiple people in her life? Is it a red flag? Is it a coincidence that Mary Boyshausen's 2 adopted children, Rebecca and her brother, end up behind bars for taking the life of someone else? I don't know. Now, what I will say is that given Rebecca's past of filing these reports, making these cases, I do think that it is possible that she will eventually turn on Jake Haro, but we are going to have to see, because based on everything that she is saying up to this point, it does not seem to indicate that she's going to turn on him, but she's turned on people in her life before, so it's possible she could do it again. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the trash at the Haro's home. So as you can see from this photo right here, there is a black trash barrel outside of the Haro's residence, and it is empty. It was picked up. Now, this barrel actually matches the barrels in this area of California.
Salute to Jelly Bean for the $5. I appreciate you, and good night to you. And salute to Mama Sita for the $5. Says, the dad is in segregation, so how would he have anyone to confess to in his cell? That's an interesting question, Mama Sita. I don't know the answer, but this is all alleged, but there's a lot of people with this information. So let's continue.
That is serviced by CC&R Waste Management. Trash in this specific region where the Haros live that is picked up by this specific waste management company is brought to a landfill called the Lamb Canyon Landfill. And at this exact moment, law enforcement has not ever went out to Lamb Canyon Landfill, to our knowledge, to do any searches, which debunks rumors that have been circulating online of Jake confessing a few days ago, saying that he accidentally took Emmanuel's life and that he put him in the trash outside to be picked up on trash day. Now, law enforcement could issue search warrants for the Lamb Canyon landfill if they do feel like there is going to be evidence at that landfill pertaining to Emmanuel's death. But at the moment, we haven't seen that publicly yet. And based on the press conference the other day, where the sheriffs were saying that they have an indication as to where Emmanuel is, I don't necessarily think that they feel like he is in this landfill. Could he be? Very possibly, but I don't think that their investigation has led them to that specific area at this time. So yeah, you guys know I'll continue to keep you updated, so make sure to follow for more information on this case. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments, and as soon as we hear anything else, as soon as I find out anything else, uncover anything else, I'll be sure to share with you guys.
Salute, man. So, I don't know. Everybody got different information when it comes to baby Emmanuel. What the hell happened, man?
Okay, I have some updates for you guys in the baby Emmanuel case. So as I'm sure everybody already knows by now, the DA officially filed charges against both of them today. Count 1, of course, is the murder charge. And count 2 was filing a false police report. And they asked for the bail to be set at $1 million each. So they were supposed to be arraigned this afternoon, but it ended up getting rescheduled to September 4th. Apparently, the judge was kicking people out of the room for trying to record, and the TikTok user On the Tira got detained for saying hello to Rebecca. A woman present at the courthouse named Davina Ortiz gave an interview and explained a little more about what happened.
My last name is Ortiz, O-R-T-I-Z. And at first, I wasn't allowed in the courtroom. They only allowed so many. And then at the end, they said 3 more people, and one of the devs picked me to be one of the 3. I went in there, Rebecca was sitting to the right of me, and Jake was sitting to the left and right. And it was really fast. We were in there for about a little bit less than 10 minutes, and the judge pretty much read them their rights and said, okay, you're being arraigned. You want to waive your time to September 4th, and they both agreed, yes and yes. There is a new public defender or attorney. I'm not sure if he's public defender or actual lawyer, but he was representing both Rebecca and Jake. And that was pretty much it. And they said, okay, yes, we want to waive our time. And that was it. On the end, on the Tira, the reporter from TikTok, he did say, hola, when Rebecca was walking back to her cell, and one of the deputies was up there said and detained him. I'm going to assume it's detained.
Yeah.
So why would someone go up to her and say, hola? That's kind of creepy. After she said that's exactly what happened. That's kind of creepy. But Scorpio 1D, thank you for being a member for 23 months. Salute to you also for the $10. I appreciate you. Salute. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. He walked up to her and said, hola. And that's that weird dude that's been on TikTok and shit like that. We're going to get into him later on too, because there's been a lot of weird stuff I've been finding out about that dude.
And that was pretty much it.
Okay, so you heard her say that there was one attorney present representing both of them. So I'm wondering what happened to his attorney, Vincent Hughes. I've heard from some sources that he withdrew from the case, but I haven't been able to confirm that yet. If any new information comes out, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
Yeah, I understand it could be trolling it, but who would troll and when there's a baby that we know was unalived? You know what I'm saying? I don't really think that's time to troll anybody. I mean, fuck her at that point.
So it has been confirmed that it was false information, everybody. I was going to do a video sooner, but I've been putting out other videos at the same time and didn't want to saturate the channel. But they did say that it was false, that Jake did not confess to a prison informant or a jail informant and not admit that he put baby Emmanuel Harrow in the trash. Now, they are very adamant about saying that they do know that baby Emmanuel is no longer alive, and they do feel like they know where the remains are. And also, Jake Harrow did do an interview from jail where he is claiming that he didn't have any involvements with the disappearance of baby Emmanuel, saying that he would never harm his own child, this, that, and the third, and also saying that the only reason why he pled guilty to those other charges is that he couldn't afford to go to trial. He says that he's been cooperating with the investigation. My thing is this: if you were so cooperative with this investigation, I feel like him and Rebecca both would have did a lie detector test. If y'all have nothing to hide whatsoever at all, and y'all really want everybody to know that y'all are telling the truth about baby Emmanuel Harrell, y'all would stop delaying time and y'all would have did the lie detector test. So that way they could have got on to searching for baby Emmanuel rather than delaying time saying, hey, we didn't have nothing to do with this and that, and we're just innocent. They did say that they feel like they can prove that Jake and Rebecca Harrow extensively abused Emmanuel Harrow, and that's what they feel like Emmanuel Harrow had passed away from. I just wanted to put this out so that way everybody did know as a whole that there was false info about the trash can and Jake Harrow confessing inside of the jail to a jailhouse informant. But nonetheless, we want justice for baby Emmanuel, and we want them to find out exactly what happened to baby Emmanuel. And if Jake and Rebecca Harrow have nothing to hide, they need to do that lie detector test if they feel like it could help their son and help them move on with this investigation. If y'all feel like they just sticking this investigation on y'all and it's stuck and it's going nowhere, y'all had nothing to do with nothing, then y'all need to do that lie detector test and allow them to move forward with the investigation.
I agree. Do the damn lie detector test. I mean, you got nothing to hide, right? Allegedly, but we know y'all got something to hide though.
Cabazon, California. Today is August 28th. Emmanuel's memorial vigil at his house. This is what he should be enjoying, this beautiful scenery here, more made popular in the huge blockbuster hit Pee-wee's Playhouse. The story of little Emmanuel has captured the nation when on August 14th his mother said that an Ola wielding man bopped her in the back of the head so hard that a black eye ensued shortly thereafter. Poor Emmanuel was allegedly ripped from her arms, only to find out days later that they actually killed the little boy, threw his body in the Badlands. 2 weeks passing by, no sign of him later, of course not. How could there? There's wildlife throughout. One thing we know for sure is that little Emmanuel left his mark on this earth, homie. And we are here to care for him and to send him off. Maybe not physically, but spiritually, homie. The next phase in Cabazon, California is the memorial, the burial, the trial, and then I don't know what comes next, homie. All I know is, please don't fool yourself anymore with hopes.
Is it only me, or is this dude right here hella sus? Am I the only one that think this dude right here is very suspect? Now, I've been watching close, and I just been seeing a lot of weird shit with this dude. So if you say homie one more time, I don't know about this dude, man. He's a little bit sus to me. So nah, it ain't just you. This dude right here kind of bothers me a little bit. And then isn't this is the dude who walked in there and said hola to her, right? Then he got detained. This is the dude, right? So definitely not just you. This is the dude who walked in there and was like hola and got detained. Am I right? I don't know, man. So yeah, I've been looking at this dude kind of weird for a while, even before that. So he definitely rubbed me the wrong. He rubbed me the wrong way. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't know what this dude got going on. So he's a former inmate. Yeah, I don't know about this dude, man. Yeah, this dude kind of suspect to me.
Of finding little Emmanuel, because although nobody wants to find him more than me, I fully understand now that this has become now a search and rescue to a recovery to now more of wishful thinking that we're never really going to fulfill. And so I've now moved to the next part of the investigation in Cabazon, California. Rest in peace, Emmanuel Haro. We love you, and we're always here to try to get the answers. Shout out to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department who is lending a hand to the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, leading in the investigation of little Emmanuel Haro. From Cabazon, California, here to let you fine folks know that he is in all of our hearts, not only in the IE, but throughout the country and the world, homie. Ahmed Belloso, dispensa on the tira.
Yeah, that's the dude right there who 100% got detained. I don't know about him. Something kind of throws me off about him.
New details as investigators keep up their search for baby Emmanuel in the Inland Empire, and this roughly 2 weeks after he was reported missing. Thanks again for joining us here on ABC 7 Hulu and wherever you stream. I'm David Owen.
And I'm Giovanna Lada. Now the baby's father.
Salute Belinda Scipio for the $10. I appreciate you. Salute.
Is speaking out from his jail cell. Investigators claiming the baby died from child abuse, even though no remains have been found.
A search off Highway 60 turned up nothing. Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez has been following the case from the beginning and now joins us live. Leticia.
Well, David and Giovanna, Jake Haro is speaking publicly for the first time since his arrest last week in a jailhouse interview with the Southern California News Group. But in that interview, he would not say what part, if any, he played in his son's disappearance.
The search for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro continues as his parents Jake and Rebecca Haro sit in jail charged with his murder.
Baby Emmanuel was abused, victim of child abuse over time, and that eventually, because of that abuse, he succumbed to those injuries.
Yesterday, San Bernardino and Riverside County law enforcement briefed the public on the case. On the same day, Jake Haro gave a jailhouse interview to the Southern California News Group, denying Emmanuel was abused. He acknowledged the public's outrage, saying, "God is with us. The allegations are horrendous, so of course people are going to be riled up." But investigators say Emmanuel's August 14th abduction from a Yucaipa parking lot was fabricated.
There's a tremendous amount of evidence that suggests that the initial story posed was not the correct story.
Following their arrest, it appeared investigators were closing in on Emmanuel's remains when Jake Haro accompanied deputies with cadaver dogs to a remote area off the 60 freeway just east of Moreno Valley.
And like, why did they do that? Why won't they release the information? Like, what were y'all doing over there? You know what I'm saying? And why have y'all not dug up everything over there if y'all were led to that? Yeah, this is just weird, bro. Like, you were over there off the freeway where he allegedly told somebody that's where he, dug the hole up and put the body there because he wanted to be close to him. Where did you get that information from? Because we asked you a specific question, being the media. Did he confess? You said no. So what happened? Why were you over there? Why can't you tell us why you were over there? That's kind of weird.
But that search yielded nothing.
So was that just him just trying to divert the attention as to where he really went?
Moses Castillo is a private investigator and a retired LAPD detective. He says without Emmanuel's body, prosecutors may face challenges.
One of the charges that I hope that they consider adding is child abuse causing death. But the reason why it's so important to have that charge is that without a body, you're not going to get a true cause of death or manner of death.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is leading the investigation with Riverside County. Their goal, justice for baby Emmanuel.
A no-body homicide is always difficult, but it's a little different when you're talking about an infant.
Now, both the Haros will be back in court next Thursday. They're being held on $1 million bail. Their arraignment is set for that Thursday, in which they'll be formally charged with
My bad.
They had to be postponed from Tuesday because they did not have an attorney yet.
My bad.
Now, both the Haros will be back in court next Thursday. They're being held on $1 million bail. Their arraignment is set for that Thursday, in which they'll be formally charged with those. They had to be postponed from Tuesday because they did not have an attorney yet. Reporting live here in Riverside, Leticia Juarez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Leticia, thank you.
So, yeah, this case is a crazy one, man.
A lifetime of severe abuse, and he was only 7 months old. Emmanuel Harrow's parents allegedly took his life and then faked his kidnapping. His father, Jake Harrow, has now reportedly confessed to a prison informant that he did in fact take Emmanuel's life, while his mother, on the other hand, has completely doubled down on her story and says that the father is innocent and that they are good parents and that she just wants to be released to help locate her son. Officials provided an update this week, and during the press conference, the sheriff announced that the reason they didn't release an Amber Alert when Emmanuel Harrow went missing is because they saw surveillance video footage that told them the mother's story was not accurate.
Folks, within 24 hours through video surveillance, we found inconsistencies in Rebecca's statement. And as a result of that, there was no other vehicle to put out on an Amber Alert or anything. Forensically, there are a number of things that we were able to prove up that we're not going to be able to share today exactly how we did that, but there is a tremendous amount of evidence that suggests that the initial story posed was not the correct story.
Reports had come out that there was blood located in the home on the floorboards of the house, as well as baby Emmanuel's pictures and clothing all missing from the home. Now, we also had the prosecutors say that they do have a strong indication on where baby Emmanuel's body is.
We have pretty strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. That investigation is ongoing at this time.
We also saw video earlier this week of Jake Harrow on the side of the freeway with officials in his prison jumpsuit, and it looked like he was helping them look for Emmanuel Harrow. We saw a search grid, a grid pattern with investigators walking through the field, definitely looking for something. However, during that same press conference, the prosecutor, when asked if he had confessed, said no.
There's some pushback, and we understand it, to Brian's reporting from local DA, but Brian tells us now he stands by his reporting and his sources that the father of Emmanuel Harrow has confessed to the killing of the child, and both of the parents being held on $1 million bail.
Brian Enton from News Nation had stated his sources told him that Jake Harrow had confessed to police. Now, apparently, he's told a number of different stories, but that he did in fact confess to either an undercover officer or a prison informant on what the situation actually was.
So I've learned through sources that Jake Harrow, baby Emmanuel's father, told police that he accidentally rolled over in bed and accidentally killed baby Emmanuel, and then buried baby Emmanuel in a place so that he could go there to grieve him when police were out searching with Jake Harrow.
So which story do y'all believe? Because there's like people saying this did not happen. No one confessed to anything. There was no fake inmate. Then the other reporters like, I'm sticking by my story. This definitely is true. What do y'all believe, man? Did this happen or did it not happen? Did he confess to an inmate or did he confess to the police? What do y'all think?
It lines up with the story from my sources.
His sources claimed that the same technique was used on Rebecca Harrow and it did not work. She is sticking to her story and saying that they're good parents and she just wants to be released to find Emmanuel.
Sources tell me that there was something called a Perkins operation. And this is when either an undercover police officer or an informant basically pretends to be an inmate in the jail to get information out of someone who is in custody. And as a result of that operation, they got information, the detectives, that Jake Harrow had killed baby Emmanuel, had put baby Emmanuel into a trash can.
And again, in this press conference, the district attorney did answer a question on whether or not Jake Harrow had confessed with no. He didn't give a lot of details, but he said that there was no confession. However, Brian Enton now has this to say.
It's also interesting, Ashley, that at that press conference, the DA was specifically asked, did you get a confession out of Jake Harrow? And he said no, and he almost seemed mad about it, that they were asking about it, and he said no, which would conflict, you would think, with my reporting. And I just want to tell you, I've double, triple, quadruple checked. I stand by my reporting. I think we're down to semantics here, and in the legal world, a confession, there's a very, very strict definition of that. But I stand by my reporting when it comes to the Perkins operation and what resulted from that operation.
A lot of people are thinking that the sources for Brian Enton would be correct. Otherwise, why would Jake Harrow be out on the side of the freeway helping these investigators look for the remains of Emmanuel Harrow? Now, the district attorney also talked about the judge from Jake Harrow's 2023 conviction. As you know, Jake Harrow was already charged with child abuse in the case of his 10-week-old daughter. She is now physically disabled. She is in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, all because of what he did to her. Now, the district attorney says if that judge had have put Jake Harrow in prison, Emmanuel may still have been alive today. Rebecca Harrow had done an interview from the jail. She had spoken to media, again, just stating that they were innocent and she wanted to be released to help find her son. Well, we now have Jake Harrow doing an interview from prison as well. And the reason he did this was to say God is with them and that his wife is innocent. Jake specified that his lawyer told him not to talk to the media, but that he wanted to clarify certain things. His previous attorney had said that they were going to be doing a press conference to acknowledge the previous child abuse case because Jake claims it didn't happen like they said. This is what he said in the interview with media yesterday. The 32-year-old claims he accidentally dropped his daughter, Carolina, who is not named that any longer, on a sink divider while giving her a bath. But when the 10-week-old girl's mother, Vanessa, rushed her to the hospital later that night, doctors found far more serious injuries, including a skull fracture, fractured ribs, a brain hemorrhage, and evidence of other injuries that were healing. He then went on to say the only reason he took the plea deal was financial reasons, that the judge told him no one was going to believe his story, so he went and accepted this even though he was innocent. Then he went on to talk about his wife, and he said that she is innocent, that she is a good mother, and said the media is killing her. She is a beautiful woman. She loves her children. He also added, God is with us. The allegations are horrendous, so of course people are going to be riled up. The couple remains in jail on a bond of $1 million, and the two of them have both been charged with murder and filing a false police report. Now, the two of them are expected to have their arraignment in court on September 4th, and I, of course, will let you guys know how that goes. Make sure you hit follow.
Man. So, baby Emmanuel, I don't know. I think something far more horrendous happened. I think that the dad snapped and just did some crazy stuff. And I don't believe, I mean, I do believe he was abusing the kid, but I just think that he just went way too far and then they tried to do everything they could to cover that up. That's just my opinion. Salute to Diane Peters for those 5 gifted memberships. Salute. So yeah, that's just my opinion, man. I don't know what it is, man, but this is loose. I don't know what it is, but this is loose. Let's continue.
But what he really wanted to talk about at length was his 2023 conviction where he pled guilty to willful child cruelty. And I didn't put a lot in the article just because I wasn't going to be able to get the other side of the story, but he really dumped on his wife at the time, Vanessa, about her possible role in the very, very serious injuries to their daughter, Carolina, who is now permanently bedridden. Jake had said that he was bathing the baby and she slipped through his fingers and hit her chest on the sink divider. And at the time, it did not appear she was injured. But then later that night, in the middle of the night, Vanessa woke him up and said, hey, there's something wrong with the baby. And he felt her sides and he felt a crackling. And that was a description that was in court documents. And that was a description he gave me yesterday. He didn't seem scared. He didn't seem worried. He seemed more about getting his point across about how he felt like the district attorney and other investigators were making the assumption that just because he had the 2023 conviction that, oh, he must have killed baby Emmanuel. He feels like that they made that leap without it. Evidence, and so that's what he's concerned about. But he wanted to talk, very definitely.
Man. So that's the news reporter who actually spoke to him. So
the red flags are
Jake he should have never said nothing, bro. You gone, man. You gone for the rest of your life.
absolutely flying in the Emmanuel Harrow case. I'm a forensic scientist and a former CSI, and both of these people now accused of murder have given new interviews to the press in the past couple of days. A couple days ago, I made a TikTok talking about how important it was that the body or the remains of baby Emmanuel be located, because without it, it'd be really hard to understand what type of injuries he had. And in that TikTok, I mentioned that police might be able to fill some of those gaps with medical records to the extent that they existed. So looking at the condition of the child during his well child visits with his pediatrician. But it seems that that's going to be a problem. In the interview that he gave yesterday, the father of this child, Jake Haro, is talking about Emmanuel's past medical history and his visits with doctors. He's saying that the parents tried to schedule several appointments to get him vaccinated, but the hospital was continually out of vaccines. He said that ultimately they had to switch hospitals, and they had an appointment scheduled for October 2nd, which is a month and a half in the future, to finally get Emmanuel his shots. At that point, he would be close to 9 months old. Now, I'm just speculating here, but this sounds like a reason or an excuse to try to explain why this child does not have any medical records. We know from the press conference that CPS has no contact with this baby. So CPS has never been involved in the child's life. And one way that you would avoid having your baby reported to Child Protective Services is to prevent your child from getting medical care. Because if you were abusing your baby or neglecting your baby and you took that baby to the pediatrician or to the hospital, even for just a well child visit, the physician would likely note that your child was undernourished, underdeveloped, had signs of injuries, and they would report you to Child Protective Services. So in my opinion, this seems like a little bit of a BS excuse. I've never heard of a hospital being continually out of vaccines, and I've never heard of a situation where parents could not get a vaccine appointment for their infant until 6 weeks in the future. So it sounds to me like he's trying to set up an excuse to explain away why this child does not have any medical records, instead of just coming out and saying we couldn't take him to the doctor because they would know that we've been abusing him. Again, I'm just speculating. That's what I think. What do you think?
So allegedly, baby Emmanuel had no medical records, no shot records. He's never been to the doctor, allegedly. And it was due to, ever since that baby was born, that daddy been doing stuff. He's been putting hands on that baby, allegedly. And that's the reason why he couldn't take him to the hospital. Because he messed him up at a young age, and he wasn't developing right. So they were trying to keep him from going to that hospital because they didn't want them people to see how the baby was really looking over there. The baby been messed up. People said the baby had shaken baby syndrome from the gate, from the jump. He had been shaking that baby since he was an infant. Let's keep it a buck.
The red flags are absolutely.
Oh, my bad. We just watched it. Yeah, but definitely he been messing that baby up since he was an infant, allegedly.
Now, I know that a lot of folks out there are...
Says Hector is not in the graveyard. Hector passed in 2021. Ahmed, stop with the BS. Stop starting rumors and spreading false information. Irresponsible clickbait keyboard warrior. So they going at what's his name. So let's watch this.
Are wondering if I'm going to continue with the case, because even this morning somebody sent me a lead regarding Hector Haro and Emmanuel, and the possibility if I could go look at the grave. And I just thought to myself,
why would he go check the grave of somebody who was cremated? What he didn't think was self. Maybe I should investigate before I speak. What he didn't think to himself was, self, does this make sense? Self, should we look into this before we speak to almost 400,000 people and say these false, crazy, outlandish things that people are just going to take for fact? The fact is Hector Haro passed away in 2001. He died on May 6th. He had a celebration of life on June 18th. He was cremated somewhere in between that time frame. There is no way that baby Emmanuel is in Hector's grave, as Hector does not have a grave.
Yeah, wouldn't it? So they saying this dude just been going around spreading a bunch of false information. I don't know. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people kind of mad at this dude, saying he fucking things up.
So I've been waiting to find out if this is actually real, and I did get confirmation that this was in fact real. There was an interview done with Jake Haro yesterday, August 27th, where he did speak on Emmanuel Haro, his son's disappearance and presumed death. I'm going to share what he had to say. He did start the interview by saying that Mike Hestrin, the district attorney's assertion that Emmanuel Haro was a victim of long-term abuse, which did end up leading to his death, is not true at all, but he declined to discuss what role he had to play in Emmanuel's disappearance at all. He was asked a question about why he was spotted in Moreno Valley in the Badlands area of California, and Jake said that he was unable to answer. He said that he wants to talk about it, but he can't. He said that he has been instructed by his attorney not to do press. After hearing yesterday's press conference, in my personal opinion, I think that Jake Haro was brought to this area because of phone data that was extracted from his mobile device. I think that he was in that area at some point. His phone records show that, and they were asking him questions, at the actual scene of where his phone was pinging. Jake also went on to say that he has been kept in segregated housing for his own protection. He said that he has had no contact with other inmates despite online rumors that he had confessed to someone who was in the jail. Now, speaking about the rumors circulating online about the Perkins operation that was allegedly done on Jake and Rebecca, I was actually listening to News Nation, an interview last night with someone who actually worked at the Riverside County Sheriff's Office in the past. And this woman did say that the Riverside County Sheriff's Office is known to do these operations when they are investigating a crime. So I'm wondering if maybe someone who is familiar with them doing that in the past spoke and shared this as something that was done, when in reality it wasn't something that was ever confirmed, maybe just something that someone assumed. But
what if they did do the operation and he has been segregated away from other inmates, but they gave him a cellmate who did the exact same thing he did, and they were just sharing stories? I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. But what if they did do a Perkins operation, but they put someone else in the cell next to him, or in the cell right there with him, or in the vicinity of him, so they could communicate? And it was another person who like, hey man, look, man, they trying to say I unalived my kid. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh shit, they trying to say the same thing about me, allegedly.
now we do have confirmation that not only is the sheriff's office saying that Jake didn't confess, we also have Jake now saying himself that he has not spoken to anyone and that he is by himself segregated in there. Jake Haro repeatedly said that he and Rebecca care about Emmanuel a lot, and when he was asked why Emmanuel hadn't been seen by a lot of people in the weeks prior to his disappearance, he said that it was because Emmanuel had not been vaccinated. He said that both he and Rebecca attempted to schedule several appointments to vaccinate Emmanuel, but one hospital was continuously out of vaccines, and the other hospital wasn't able to give him the vaccine that he needed until October 2nd. This is definitely something that law enforcement will be able to look into and find out if this is true. Now, he also spoke briefly about his prior charge about willful child cruelty. He is standing by the fact that he accidentally dropped his daughter in the sink. He said that he wanted to go to trial. He wanted to take it all the way, but he ended up pleading guilty because he didn't have the money to go to trial. He also said that the judge told him that nobody would believe his side of the story. He said, quote, somehow they magically convinced me to take this damn plea deal. I was sick of court. The judge knows I didn't do it. They just railroaded me. I was the fall guy. So like I've been saying in my prior videos, this guy refuses to take accountability. I highly doubt that he confessed to anyone in jail. I do not see him doing that, and I really do think that he is going to take this specific case regarding Emmanuel Haro to the very end, especially if Emmanuel's body is not found. Now, regarding Rebecca, he said that she is innocent. The media is really going too hard on her. He says that she's a beautiful woman and she loves her children. He is hopeful that both she and him are going to be able to raise 10% of the bail so that they can be free until they go to trial. Jake said that the allegations against him and his wife are horrendous, so he is expecting the public to be riled up about it, but he said that God is with them. He said that he loves his wife. He tried shouting that to her at their first court appearance a couple of days ago, and if he could say anything to his son Emmanuel right now, he would say, I love you, buddy. So to sum it all up, Jake and Rebecca are still maintaining their innocence. It doesn't seem like either are going to turn on each other anytime soon, and I do believe that they are going to ride this out all the way to the very end. What are you guys thinking? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to follow. I will be sure to keep you guys updated as soon as new information comes out.
So it's looking like Jake is gonna take this shit to trial. Allegedly, he might not have confessed to nobody. He said, hey, look, this never happened. She's saying this never happened. Him and his wife gonna end up on trial. and it just is what it is. I mean, to be real, what choice do they have? I mean, you're cooked regardless, whether you get found guilty of it or you confess to it, which I know you're gonna get found guilty of it. But you 100% are never coming home again. So you might as well just take it to. Allegedly, they can't give you the death penalty for this. So, I mean, you might as well just take it to trial and just take your chances on. You're gonna get life regardless. So, I mean, you might as well just take it to trial.
On the Terra has took a turn for the worse on this Emmanuel Harrell case. And I'm just gonna explain to you my opinion why. Ever since the press conference, it's been me, disrespect, everything besides what the freaking goal was in the first place. He's upset that Chad told him to get some rest. I totally agree. He does need to get some rest. He hasn't been eating. He's losing weight. He's literally not even taking water out to these places he's going. Most of all, he's tampering with evidence. Picking things up and taking things home can jeopardize his case. And we're all wanting to see them behind bars. But legally, if once evidence is tampered with, they cannot use that in court. And with them already trying to put the puzzle pieces together of what happened to Emmanuel, that's just gonna make the case 100 more times easier. Not saying that on the Terra doesn't have his best interest. I'm just saying he just needs to step down a little bit so he can clear his head.
So they saying this dude is going buck wild, tampering with evidence. They saying this dude is becoming a problem. He's jeopardizing the investigation, and the things he's doing may let them walk free of this. And everybody wants to see them go down. But if certain things happen and he fucks up certain situations, they might not be able to find him guilty because he's taking evidence to his house with him. He's finding things and taking it home. So what evidence did he pick up or tamper with? Name one thing. This is what they're saying. You could say if it's true or false in the chat. I'm just going off what I'm telling y'all. I've seen multiple people exposing this dude, saying he did this, saying he did that. The police don't like him. They saying certain people starting to push away from him. They saying that ever since this happened, it's me, I. The police told him to get some rest. They said that press conference, they were speaking on him. I don't know. I'm not out there. Y'all tell me, man. I'm just going off of what I've heard and I've seen. That's all I can tell y'all. So allegedly behind the scenes, people don't like how this dude been moving. I'm just telling y'all, a lot of people don't like how this dude been moving. They said this dude is suspect. He's been doing a lot of weird stuff. Thank you, Terry Walsh, for the $20. I appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. All right, God is very good. Thank you so much all the time. All right, so I don't know, man. Do y'all feel like this dude is becoming a problem, or do y'all feel like this is just, people hating on him? I don't know. Y'all tell me in the chat. Is this dude becoming a problem or not? Because they said the police told this dude to step down. Certain other content creators have noticed this dude doing too much. Civilians are saying this dude is doing too much. What do y'all think in the chat? Is this on the Terra? Is he doing too much? Terra, however you say it. I don't know. On the Terra. Is he doing too much? Yes or no in the chat? Let me know in the chat, man. Is this dude just going way too damn far? Let me know in the chat. Man. They said internal affairs need to be involved. Internal affairs definitely need to be involved. And y'all do me a favor, double tap your screens and get those likes up, man. I don't know what it is, but y'all loose tonight. It is what it is, though. Let's continue.
A troubling revelation from investigators in the case of baby Emmanuel.
They say the 7-month-old who was reported missing by his parents nearly 2 weeks ago likely died from ongoing abuse by them. The couple is now charged with the baby's murder, and Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan is live in Riverside with new details. Rob?
Well, the Riverside County District Attorney not providing any specific evidence, but did say they believe that baby Emmanuel had been abused over a period of time and that he died at the hands of his parents. Jake and Rebecca Haro now facing murder charges, both of them making their first court appearance yesterday afternoon, believed to be responsible for the death of 7-month-old Emmanuel.
And if you look at Emmanuel's face, you could just, I'm not trying to, whatever. But I'm just being honest. If you're looking at his face, you could tell something wasn't right. Like something had went on with him. And a lot of people said that he was developed as if he has shaken baby syndrome. You guys could tell me that in the chat. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I'm observing. So this is my opinion. It looked like he had been, and I think that they found old pictures and seen old documentation of them via deleted phone records or whatever. I think that they noticed that whatever was going on with this kid, he definitely was being abused. I just think it was obvious to tell that this kid, something wasn't right, you know? It's just my indication says the police dug up and found, and when I mean dug up, I mean like dug up information and found information about this kid, about this baby, excuse me. He wasn't a kid, he was just a baby. So I think they found information about the baby and noticed that there was a pattern of abuse going on with this baby.
Of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, their son, who hasn't been seen in 2 weeks. This morning, both Riverside and San Bernardino County law enforcement speaking publicly about the case.
It's appropriate to have a press conference because it was the defendants in this case that had a press conference first. And they did so in order to tell the public, the media, and ultimately law enforcement that their child had been kidnapped, when in fact that's not what occurred.
It all started the night of Thursday, August 14th, when Rebecca Haro claimed that she'd been attacked in this Big 5 parking lot in Yucaipa. When she came to, she claimed her little boy had been kidnapped.
Please, I'm begging you, please, God, please.
Less than an hour after our interview at the family home, many of them then showing...
Come on now, you know damn well she wasn't crying. You know damn well she wasn't crying.
She claimed her little boy had been kidnapped.
Please, I'm begging you, please, God, please.
Less than an hour after our interview at the family home, many of them then showing up at the Big 5 parking lot saying they were back there trying to organize a search effort. But it wasn't long before people started to wonder whether this couple was telling the truth. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department saying Jake and Rebecca Haro were no longer cooperating with detectives. Others noting that in our first interview with the family, Jake Haro was already talking about his son in the past tense.
He was a healthy baby. He was crawling, he was kicking, he was playing with his toys.
Law enforcement saying they have a general idea of where in the past tense.
He was a healthy baby. He was crawling, he was kicking, he was playing with his toys.
Well, I mean, that's weird to say. You got a missing child. You're going to say he was a beautiful baby. He was kicking. He was crawling. What are you doing, bro? You already kind of sounded very sus.
Law enforcement saying they have a general idea of where Emmanuel's remains might be, but they still haven't found him. Jake Haro was seen with detectives in the Badlands east of Moreno Valley Sunday afternoon.
I'm not going to go into great detail about that, but there is some level of cooperation with the suspects involved in this. But for the rest of the room here, we have to understand what you're dealing with is an experienced child abuser.
San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykus referencing another case in which Jake Haro pleaded guilty to willful child cruelty in 2023, but served no prison time.
The judge decided that Mr. Haro deserved an extra break and gave him probation and basically 180 days of work release, which ends up being like community service. That decision was absolutely outrageous. Mr. Haro should have been in prison.
And the DA in that case saying that child was named Carolina. She suffered broken bones, a fractured skull, brain hemorrhage, and is permanently bedridden. As for the baby Emmanuel case, both parents remain behind bars facing $1 million bail. Live in Riverside, Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Another really difficult story to talk about, Rob. Thank you for that report.
Yeah, man. Baby Emmanuel, man. We're never going to find him, I don't think.
You've broken some incredible information about the baby's father, who, like his mother, is charged with killing him. Apparently, he's told a few versions of what happened to the baby from jail. Can you catch us up to speed on everything you've learned?
Yeah, actually, so I've looked.
So I want to know why this was reported then. So what is going on with these reports? If this allegedly never happened, why was this reported?
Learned through sources that Jake Haro, baby Emmanuel's father, told police that he accidentally rolled over in bed. This is what sources are telling me, and accidentally killed baby Emmanuel, and then buried baby Emmanuel in a place so that he could go there to grieve him, which obviously made no sense. But when you think back to the weekend, Ashley, when police were out searching with Jake Harrow in the jumpsuit. They had him out there. Very unusual to see that right along the freeway there in that area. It lines up with the story from my sources that he had indicated, and he's had a couple of stories, which I'll get into, but with this story that he had indicated to police that he buried baby Emmanuel after accidentally killing him.
Salute to Binky for the $10. Enjoy your vacation, Binky. Salute. So what do y'all think, man? Why was this information leaked, and what is going on with this fake confession? I'm sticking to something is going on, because why is the internet and the news reporting this? Somebody tell me.
But then there's a second version of Jake Harrow speaking in jail. What did you learn about this?
Yeah, and this is very interesting. So sources tell me that there was something called a Perkins operation, which is not unusual in California. And this is when either an undercover police officer, or not a police officer, but an informant, basically pretends to be an inmate in the jail to get information out of someone who is in custody. And I am told that there was a Perkins operation involving Jake Harrow, and as a result of that operation, they got information, the detectives, that Jake Harrow had killed baby Emmanuel and had put, and it's awful to say, I mean, it's just awful, but had put baby Emmanuel into a trash can.
We have a strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. How does that square with this story that police say Jake Harrow told to, the plant in the jail that I killed the baby and threw the baby in a trash can?
Salute to Real Ann for that membership. I appreciate you, Real Ann.
Yeah, I mean, look, they must have some other information, because when they're saying that there's been a history of abuse, whether it's information from neighbors or from, who knows, videos or phones or pictures or whatever, where they have now put together a timeline that baby Emmanuel was abused over time. But it's also interesting, Ashley, that at that press conference, the DA was specifically asked, did you get a confession out of Jake Harrow? And he said no, and he almost seemed mad about it, that they were asking about it, and he said no, which would conflict, you would think, with my reporting. And I just want to tell you, I've double, triple, quadruple checked. I stand by my reporting. I think we're down to semantics here, and in the legal world, a confession, there's a very, very strict definition of that. And I don't know what the DA's definition of confession is when it comes to what he would want it to be.
I love you right back, Terry Walsh. Thank you so much.
In a court of law.
Thanks for the $10.
But I stand by my reporting when it comes to the Perkins operation and what resulted from that operation, Ashley.
It's hard to believe that they can make the statement, we believe that he was subject to abuse over time, and because of that abuse, he succumbed to his injuries. Does anybody know how they can say that, how they know, or how they can profess to know that this baby had been injured many times and thus died from all that sort of collection of injuries?
No, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. There may be more information that they were able to obtain from the operation in the jail that I just don't know about. Or like I said, it's possible that it seems like they've been hard at work, these investigators. I mean, behind the scenes, they may have gotten evidence, again, neighbors, pictures, maybe there's medical records. I'm not sure, but they were very clear in their latest release that they believe that there's evidence of long-term abuse.
So now, if they're doing the Perkins operation on Jake Harrow, did they do the same thing on Rebecca Harrow in her jail cell?
Yes, that is what my sources say, that there was another Perkins operation for the mom, but a different outcome. I am told that she has stuck to the same story since the beginning, that there was a kidnapping, that her husband, Jake Harrow, would never do anything wrong, that he was a good father, and she hasn't changed her story from what I've been told.
So yeah, she ain't switching up the narrative. She's sticking by what the hell she said. The daddy is running plays deep from his jail cell. Let me turn that down a little bit. The daddy is running plays deep from his jail cell. Let's continue.
Jake Harrow is the dad now charged with murder alongside his wife, Rebecca. Their 7-month-old son, Emmanuel, is still missing, and law enforcement say he's dead. They didn't say anything in their brief court appearance this week as you look at this video from KTLA, but Jake is now speaking from jail.
Well, his interview was different from the one I did with Rebecca, in that Rebecca stuck with the account that she was the victim of a mugging, that baby Emmanuel was kidnapped. And Jake did not say that.
I just spoke to the reporter who met face-to-face in jail with Jake Haro. What Haro said about accusations he abused Emmanuel to death and how Jake's story compares to Rebecca's story, who still seems to claim that she was attacked and the baby was kidnapped. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Let's get to it, man. So what are you guys thinking, man? I see some people in here actually say the family is innocent. We got 4% of the people that say this family is innocent. I would like to hear from those people who said that.
I'll get to my conversation in just a moment with the reporter in Southern California who may be the only person who has spoken with both Jake and Rebecca Haro since their arrest nearly a week ago. The Haros are being held at separate facilities. This is video per KTLA of when they were in court this week in Riverside, California. Both parents are charged with murder and a felony charge for filing a false report in the disappearance of their 7-month-old son, Emmanuel. Yesterday, the Riverside County District Attorney said Emmanuel died of prolonged child abuse.
The filing in this case reflects our belief that baby Emmanuel was abused, a victim of child abuse over time, and that eventually, because of that abuse, he succumbed to those injuries. That's what we believe.
You'll hear what Jake Haro said in response to that in just a moment. There was also a report that came out yesterday that Jake Haro confessed to an undercover law enforcement officer in jail, confessed to killing his son, is what the report said. This is from the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. It's a national nonprofit that helped with the search for Emmanuel before law enforcement said that the parents were lying. News Nation also came out with a report saying that Jake Haro had confessed to killing his son. There were a lot of similarities in the reporting between News Nation and what the foundation was saying, but in the News Nation report, they said that Jake Haro admitted to this informant to rolling over in bed and killing Emmanuel that way before throwing his body out in the trash. At the start of the news conference yesterday, the Riverside DA said it was important for him to speak because the Haros were the ones who spoke first in this story. They went on TV back on August 14th. This is video per KABC.
Got him out of the car seat and I laid him down so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, hold on, that's all I remember.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
This is a horrible attempt at crying. I'm going to be real. Just reading the body language from these people, this was a horrible attempt at trying to show any emotion.
TV back on August 14th. This is video per KABC.
Got him out of the car seat and I laid him down so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, hold on, that's all I remember.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
The Haros appeared to be a united front up until their arrest on Friday last week. This is video from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office of deputies taking the Haros into custody. But now there appears to be a shift in what each of them are saying since they've been in jail and separated. Brian Rokos spoke to Rebecca Haro on Sunday last week in jail. He works for Southern California News Group. He says that Rebecca told him that she was attacked in a parking lot in Yucaipa, California, and Emmanuel was abducted. The very same story she told in that local news interview and to law enforcement going back on the day she said that Emmanuel was kidnapped. It's important to note that law enforcement believe that Emmanuel died as early as on or around August 5th, which was roughly 10 days before the news report that Rebecca and Jake said, where Rebecca was allegedly attacked in that parking lot.
So they're saying 10 days prior to that damn conversation that interview she did or press conference, whatever. They're saying he was already gone 10 days before that. That's crazy. So what could have possibly happened in those 10 days to that body? It's sad and unfortunate, but the thing is, it might have been before that, because at this point, I don't believe shit that comes from these people. I don't know what the truth is, but that baby was in harm's way from the time he was born, and nobody protected that baby.
Yucaipa. But on that same day that Brian Rocos talked to Rebecca Haro in jail, Jake Haro was out in a field with deputies who were searching for Emmanuel. This is an image per KABC. To this point, it is still unclear why Jake Haro was with deputies in that field about 22 minutes from his house, right off of a highway. Law enforcement said they did not find Emmanuel's remains that day, and they still do not have Emmanuel's remains right now. Jake Haro, though, is speaking from jail. He did an interview with that same reporter, Brian Rocos, the person who spoke to Rebecca Haro on Sunday. And I spoke to Brian about what Jake Haro told him a short time ago. Joining us now is reporter with Southern California News Group, Brian Rocos. You can read his work on pressenterprise.com, and he just spoke with Jake Haro in jail. Big interview get here, Brian. We really appreciate your time being with us on Law and Crime.
So this is the dude who actually spoke with Jake and Rebecca Haro. He spoke with both of the parents, and this is what happened.
Let's get into it. What did Jake...
We need 13 people to double tap your screen, man. Double tap your screen and get these likes up. Let's go.
Jake Haro tell you in jail?
Well, his interview was different from the one I did with Rebecca, in that Rebecca stuck with the account that she was a victim of a mugging, that baby Emmanuel was kidnapped. And Jake did not say that. He didn't say there was a kidnapping. He didn't say there wasn't. All he said was that Vanessa was innocent. And I asked him directly, are you responsible for the disappearance of Emmanuel? And all he would say was, well, I can't really talk about it on the advice of my attorney. He was unaware that earlier in the day that Mike Hestron, the Riverside County District Attorney, had said they believed that Emmanuel died from ongoing abuse. And so I told Jake what the district attorney had said, and he said, that's not true at all. But what he didn't say was there some sort of short-term abuse? I asked him, was there an accident? I gave him, lots of avenues to go down, and he just wouldn't want to talk about that at all. So you wonder what is there?
They want to know if there was short-term abuse, long-term abuse. The police say long-term, but he was even trying to give him an out to say, like, hey, did something happen recently? Like, you have an accident? Because let me tell y'all something. This dude is a serial little one abuser. He's a serial one, but he's used to getting away with it and getting his way because he dates women who obviously don't respect themselves and obviously have low self-esteem. So he's able to control and be manipulative and get a hold of a situation when it comes to his woman and the little ones, allegedly. That's my opinion.
That he, the big question that you and everybody has is like, what happened to baby Emmanuel? And he agrees to this interview, and yet when you ask that question, you kind of get a non-answer, based off legal advice and all this. Why do you think he agreed to do the interview?
Well, he seemed to be a talker. He had points he wanted to make. And the way I approach these interviews is always, I'd like to tell your side of the story in our newspaper. And for a lot of people, that's just irresistible, especially when they feel like they've been wronged, or maybe sometimes they feel like they can say something that would be favorable to their situation. But what he really wanted to talk about in length was his 2023 conviction, where he pled guilty to willful child cruelty. And I didn't put a lot in the article just because I wasn't going to be able to get the other side of the story, but he really dumped on his wife at the time, Vanessa, about her possible role in the very, very serious injuries to their daughter, Carolina.
So he blamed his ex-wife for the other baby's injuries, And I think it's the same way. I think y'all are a tag team duo. It don't matter if they're doing something directly or indirectly. I think that you and all these sick ass women should be locked up. Your ex should be locked up right with your goofy ass, and your current should be locked up right with your goofy ass. Luckily, she is locked up right with your goofy ass. So that's just my opinion. I think that you and all the women you date, any woman who would date you should just be locked up just because she chose to date a person like you. That's just my opinion.
Who is now permanently bedridden. Jake had said that he was bathing the baby and she slipped through his fingers and hit her chest on the sink divider, and that at the time it did not appear she was injured. But then later that night, in the middle of the night, Vanessa woke him up and said, "Hey, there's something wrong with the baby," and he felt her sides and he felt a crackling. And that was a description that was in court documents, and that was the description he gave me yesterday. And he made various accusations about Vanessa, about her suitability as a mother, and about the way she was conducting herself that night. And he made it clear that he thought he was innocent. He made it clear that he wanted to take the case to trial, but that he felt like he got pressured to make a plea. And he thought the sentence of 180 days in work release, where you show up to the jail and then you're let go at night after picking up trash or whatever, and a suspended 4-year prison sentence was fair. In his words, he said the judge thought he was innocent. Now, I plan to get the transcript from that hearing and find out exactly what was said.
Yeah, because yesterday, the DA in Riverside County, I mean, in the news conference, very much the opposite opinion about how all that went down, and said that the judge had even said that Jake Harrow got a break. And the incident happened in 2018, and then the case is done in 2023, which was an interesting timeline. When you spoke with Jake Harrow in jail, what stood out to you about his body language?
He was sweating. He was wiping his face. Of course, he's in a jail, and it's 100 degrees out there in Banning, so I don't know what sort of air conditioning he had in there. He didn't seem scared. He didn't seem worried. He seemed more about getting his point across about.
Like a true narcissist, he ain't worried about nothing but how he feels. He ain't worried about that baby. He couldn't even show no emotion for that baby.
How he felt like the district attorney and other investigators were making the assumption that just because he had the 2023 conviction that, oh, he must have killed baby Emmanuel. He feels like that they made that leap without evidence. And so that's what he's concerned about. But he wanted to talk, very definitely.
Did he, even though he gives kind of on the advice of the lawyer, I can't really talk about this, talk about that. And then like sometimes for me in an interview, maybe you try to take, you go left and they say, not there. And then maybe, there's other little pieces you can try to peel away. Like, did he give any nugget whatsoever that stood out to you as far as what we've heard? He was on TV saying, please.
And you're right, Brandy. They definitely should have never let him out the first time. That baby, the child now, I believe the child is 7 years old now. His first child victim, the first child victim that we know of, because I think there was more, but the first child victim that we know of can't even do anything for itself. It's bedridden. She is bedridden. That child can't even think for herself or do anything for herself, can't fend for herself because he messed that baby up, that child up, that human being up for the rest of his life, her life.
He's bringing my son home, and then now he's in jail. Did he say anything that kind of stood out to you that kind of pieced together what he might think happens, or no? Obviously, he knows what happened.
Yeah, obviously these are, he acknowledged that these are very serious charges. He acknowledged the people that have been calling for his hide, the people on social media. He really didn't offer much about, the search resuming the search. We've gone back and forth. He was cooperating. He was not cooperating, depending on who you talk to. And he said he was fully cooperating. And that dovetails to something that the San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykus said at the news conference, that they had been receiving cooperation from suspects. So whether that included Jake Haro saying, "I buried the baby out by the freeway," I don't know. Jake wouldn't address how he wound up with the investigators out in the Badlands there, as they're called, on that brushy hillside. It seems like there's something there that he's not saying, and it's more than just, well.
They said, "Can I get the paperwork on the prior case?" Yes, I can. If you DM me on Instagram, just remind me, and I'll try to get it tomorrow. I'll try to get it tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I can probably get it within 24 hours. So I should be able to get it sometime tomorrow.
Emmanuel was kidnapped, but I can't jump that far ahead.
Yeah, because it's yesterday you have the big report comes out from News Nation, and then there's this nonprofit that had sent us a note, the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, which were involved in the search early, then they weren't. And then, both, it seemed very similar that there was this jailhouse confession, they said. The informant, a Perkins informant, which I had never heard of, who, according to the report, they go in, they sit with Jake Haro. It's actually a law enforcement officer. And he spills it to him saying, the report said that Jake had rolled over on Emmanuel. That's how he died. And then they put Emmanuel's body in the trash. Law enforcement has pushed back on that and said that is just not true. Was there anything in your conversation with him and in covering this story that stood out to you when that first started to make headlines yesterday?
Yeah, I was unaware of those reports at the time I spoke with Jake. But looking at the reports, one was that supposedly that Jake had, they had killed Emmanuel and they put him in the trash. And the other one on that show from the same person was that Jake had buried Emmanuel out in a rural area. And the reporter on that said he double-checked, triple-checked with his sources, and he believed both accounts to be true. But the odd thing is both can't be true. It has to be one or the other. And now law enforcement is saying neither of them are correct. So, it comes back to when people use unidentified sources for information, you really need to think hard about whether that's true. I mean,
I'm telling you, people are backed into a corner when it comes to this information right here. They do not like that information being out there as far as how they ended up on the side of that freeway. Because you got to think, y'all ended up on there for something happened. He told y'all something, or he said something. Y'all did not just go pick him up just to say, "Oh, you know what? Come take a ride with us, man. Let's go on this freeway." All right, so what do you think about this area? Man, come on. The dude is in jail, and he's saying he's innocent. Something happened that led y'all to do that. I don't know what happened, but maybe these reports are true, and you just don't like the fact that they are true. I don't know.
The California News Group are very, very, very reluctant to use anonymous sources unless we know that the person is in a direct position to know, and it's something that we might be able to confirm later on. So it's hard for people, as you've seen with all the vloggers and bloggers and amateur online sleuths and so forth.
See how when it comes to people like us, boy, they try to discredit us in any kind of way. Yeah, the amateur sleuths and
putting forward their own theories about what's happening, and private people trying to organize search parties. It's very difficult for the public to be patient and wait for law enforcement to do their job and to get to the bottom of the things, which they eventually will. So it's just they want answers right away. They want them right now, and then they start making stuff up when they don't get the immediate answers they want. And when we hear from law enforcement about what they say happened, there's still going to be people who won't believe it, that they'll, facts are probably going to be too boring for them, and some fancy theory is going to be a little bit more exciting and believable for him. So we try to be as responsible as we can on these sorts of things.
Yeah, and I know I appreciate that, just being, not in California, and you're trying to figure, this story is played out on social media, as we've talked, so in so many ways that a lot of stories haven't in the past.
I don't know, man. That is something about that information that keeps me puzzled. But y'all, we $25 away from a honey bun, and we almost at 500 likes. Double tap your screen for me. Let's go. Salute to TT for the $5. I appreciate you. We at $80. We 20 away. Thank you, TT.
It was interesting that Jake said that Rebecca was innocent, that he's like standing by his wife, and yet their stories are somewhat different. What did he say about his wife?
He said that she's a beautiful woman and would never hurt a child, and she loved her.
Do y'all believe she loved that baby and she would never hurt that baby? Does anyone in the room believe she loved that baby and would never hurt that baby?
Children. And that's what Rebecca said about Jake. Great father, great husband, would never hurt his kids.
Do you think that he was a loving father, a loving husband? Do you think that he would never hurt a child? We know for a fact he allegedly already accidentally did it. Salute to Diane Peters for that $20. I appreciate you, Diane. Salute. So we already know he allegedly accidentally did it, but we know he really did it. But do y'all believe these people would never hurt a child? What do y'all think?
And right now, obviously, the district attorney's office is saying something completely different. When Jake said Rebecca is innocent, that sort of said to me that he had some information that he knew what happened.
Exactly. Because I'm not going to just say, oh, man, my wife is innocent, man. She didn't do nothing. No, I'm going to definitely be like, we are innocent. Look, my wife is innocent and I'm innocent. That's exactly what I would say if I was him. You just fucked up. You spoke in past tense about the baby. Now you're saying, no, Rebecca's innocent. Okay, what about yourself? You didn't say we're innocent. You said Rebecca's innocent, meaning you got information on what really happened to that baby and Rebecca didn't have nothing to do with it, allegedly.
With Emmanuel, and that perhaps she had no part of what actually happened, but he was not willing to say what really did happen. So, but again, he did not go back to the kidnapping claim, which he easily could have.
What do you make of and they're the only ones who know, right? But you are you're probably the only person who's spoken to both of them since that first TV interview that they did, where she's making sticking to the storyline that she gave, that this assault happened, that police say didn't, and then he seems like to your point, has some information. What do you make of the differences?
Salute to Red Velvet for the 5. Thank you, Red Velvet.
In their stories and what they told you?
Well, for one thing, this tells me that the sheriff's department has done its job and has kept the Haros from each other. They're in different jails. When they were in court the other day, Rebecca was seated in the jury box on the far right side of the room, and Jake was seated in a chair near the where the inmates come in and out, those who are in custody, on the far side of the room. And Jake said, they've been told not to talk with each other. So very definitely, they have not been in communication since the arrests to make their stories align if in fact they're guilty.
Because their stories are not aligning right now. It's looking real bad. Y'all going down for this. Y'all can't communicate no more, so them stories ain't adding up.
They obviously had a story to begin with about the kidnapping that they were sticking to, but now it seems like that's not quite the party line for both of them anymore.
Did anything stick out to you, when they entered court, assuming that's the first time they've seen each other since their arrest, and about just how they looked at each other or any of the interactions they had?
Yeah, I didn't really, and boy, this hearing was like 3 minutes, so there wasn't a lot of time for things like that. I mean, they are instructed. You do not signal, look at, smile, wink, nod, anything like that to any other person. And they were let out separately. So I don't think that, I didn't see them acknowledging each other. Rebecca was on kind of like on the side of the room, and Jake was more toward the back of the room. So they were not looking directly at each other. It would be kind of like this. And now Jake did tell me, and it's in the story. There'll be more detail in the story that's online. Is that they after they were let out of the courtroom, they went down elevators separately. They wound up sort of near each other in the holding area, and he tried to shout out to her, "I love you." And according to Jake, a deputy threw him to the floor.
So he tried to tell her that he loved her, and the deputy grabbed him and threw him to the floor, according to Jake. But do we really take Jake's word for anything?
Like a rag doll.
So he did him like a rag. Somebody should have done you like a rag doll, like you did Emmanuel. Just like you did Emmanuel, someone should do you the same. Allegedly.
And I asked the sheriff's department if they would want to comment on the account, and they declined to do so. So obviously, sheriff's department taking it very seriously, trying to keep them apart. And so it'll be interesting to see going forward whether the attorneys, they're going to have separate attorneys, whether the attorneys work in concert, or whether one side or the other turns against the other.
Did Jake say whether, I remember he had an attorney he did a couple of interviews, and he was the same attorney from the 2023 conviction. Is he still his attorney, or?
He's not his attorney for the criminal case.
Okay.
The Riverside County Public Defender's Office is representing both of them. And because the Public Defender's Office is like a law firm can't represent two clients in the same case. So the Public Defender's Office, one of them will represent one of them, and then there'll be a court-appointed attorney from the private sector for the other. And as of this morning, I don't know who's going to have who as their attorney.
And then just my last question I just thought about, and this was something from the news conference yesterday, is when the district attorney was asked if he knew where Emmanuel's body was, his answer, and I'm probably not quoting it directly, was like, they have a pretty good idea of where it is. They don't know. He was clear though in saying, I'm not saying I know where it is, but I have a pretty good idea where it is. What do you make of that?
That means that, a couple of logical possibilities are that Jake said, well, I buried the body, or I threw the body out off the side of the freeway, and I'm not sure where.
Then who did he give that information to? He had to have said that to the police, which I wouldn't understand how you could take this to trial. So I don't know that that's true. I don't know, man. This is weird how they ended up there, but you would likely think if he confessed to the police in an interrogation room that there would be no lawyer, there would be no trial. Like, nigga, we got you, bro. So you can try to plead your innocence now, but you confessed to us that you did this. So I don't know.
I would think that if you buried the body, that would be a pretty memorable event, and that he would be able to point to an exact location. That's just kind of a guess. Another possibility is that they do have his phone, so I'm sure that they've been pinging the cell phone records to triangulate his movements, and it's possible that they have a general area where in that rural area, it might indicate that he was in that general area for maybe an hour or something like that on a particular date, when there's absolutely no reason for anyone to stop in that area unless your car breaks down. So that's why they could have a general idea of where it was. And we are not aware of any other location where the investigators have searched. I mean, of course, they don't necessarily tell us that. This search the other day came to light because people were calling up and saying, "Hey, there's to the media, hey, there's 12 cop cars pulled over by the side of the road out on Highway 60, and there's a guy in a red jail jumpsuit out there." So you can't, they couldn't exactly deny what was going on.
Michael Hestrin, a lot of national attention on him now, and he's been the DA since 2014. What do you expect from him in prosecuting this case?
Well, he actually personally came out of his office to prosecute a bodiless murder case last year, and he won that. He had the advantage of incriminating text messages and surveillance images, and so he was able to win that case, I think, pretty easily. There was very little jury deliberation on that, as I recall. What evidence he has?
Salute to Reese Cup for that $20. I appreciate you, Reese Cup. Salute.
In this case, I don't know. We're waiting for the a declaration written to obtain an arrest warrant to be published so that we can see what evidence he has in the case. But it seems like he might have less to work with. But I think that given that this is a national story, I don't know that Mike Hestrin is going to be holding daily news conferences or anything like that. But he's assigned an assistant district attorney, a very, very high level prosecutor to this case. So he's going to do everything he can to win it, to leave nothing to chance, to make sure that there's a conviction. And I mean, let's face it, he is an elected official. He is a politician. There's been some instances in the past where he's punted on prosecuting people, sending cases to the grand jury. In high-profile case, there was a high-profile case where an off-duty LAPD officer shot a nonverbal man and his parents in a Costco after the nonverbal man slugged him, and Mike delivered that to the grand jury, even though he could have filed charges against the officer himself. And there was some considerable grumbling at that point about, was he punting the case to the grand jury so he wouldn't have to risk losing endorsements from police unions by prosecuting a police officer. So, but this one seems pretty straightforward. It seems politically risk-free. It could only benefit him from an aggressive prosecution, and judging by who he is assigned to the case, that's what it looks like it's going to happen.
Right. No, and that was just like an interesting part where it was some information and like a big development, but it wasn't directly, we know, and that's kind of the possibilities that have been put around. It's just, fascinating case, so sad, I think is the biggest part of it, is just where is Emmanuel and what happened to him. Brian Rokos, reporter with the Southern California News Group. You can read his interview with Jake Haro, as well as his interview with Rebecca Haro at pressenterprise.com. Thank you for giving us your time. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime.
So that was the reporter who actually spoke with both parents in this case. And he has some interesting information. I must say so myself. So it leads us back to this guy. Let's chop it up about him.
Here at Emmanuel Haro residence, you can see here the people still at the memorial. The train has entered the chat. We're gonna tell you fine folks at home the entire story about Ramona Street, 5008 on the Tira. Jake, Emmanuel, and Rebecca Haro live here.
So he keeps doing the Ola thing. It's just kind of creepy to me. Like, yeah, I get it that that's what she said, and we figure she's lying. I think we know she's lying, but then it kind of makes me think like, bro, why are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It sounds like you kind of trolling the situation, and I don't see nothing funny about this shit. That's just me personally. I mean, I don't know why you're doing it, but it's just kind of creepy to me.
In that house where the American flag was at. Jake used to live in this house a few years back, probably when he got with Rebecca. He ended up moving into the main house.
Someone said he's in too deep. Someone said he's a little too weird to me also, Big Baby, definitely. Yeah, and he is in too deep as well. I do agree with that comment too.
And the mom with her stepfather moved into this house, and that's the shed right there. People on this quiet community here have noticed the difference on the tira. Little Emmanuel was never seen, ever on the tira. Residents on the block say they didn't even know that he was born. These neighbors here
Say he has let this case consume his whole life and health, knowing he is sick. Brandy, I don't know. This dude is he's definitely, this is consuming his entire life. Like, he's dedicated to this. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna wait till we done for me to, let's just continue watching this. Tell me in the chat, what do y'all think of him?
To those neighbors there, the house that caught on fire, very suspicious and very, very peculiar indeed. Now, does it tie into Emmanuel somehow? Because people were saying that there was clothes in the dumpster, que no sé qué. Those stories cannot be confirmed. The stroller has entered the chat. Originally, the stroller was there where the American flag is at, behind the tira, homie. Neighbors throughout here are upset because these fools were tied into the fools that burned their house down. A lot of activity, all hours of the night. And so maybe this incident here disrupting other business here, and so you can understand now why people will get upset when you can no longer do what you want to do.
So hold on, is he dry snitching? Is he out there dry snitching right now? Like, I mean, I ain't talking about on the parents. I'm talking about on some other stuff. It sounds like he giving some inside information on some other stuff going on out there, man. You might want to go home, brother. You might want to go home for a second. What is you doing out there? It sounds like you giving up information on some other crimes that's been going on right there.
Guess what? You know who doesn't get to do what they want to do? Emmanuel Haro. Dispensa on the tira. This is what the Bearcat would have seen as it drove here into this fence, and Pablo on the tira, homie. The address 50008 Ramona, Cabazon, California. The casino has entered the chat.
Yeah, what does this dude got going on, fam? What is he doing? Someone enlighten me. Say he thinks it's a damn game, right, Gigi?
Little Emmanuel lived here on the tira. Jake's mom lives here, but there's more. Check this out. This is the gate we all remember seeing where the Bearcat came in, and hola! The gate came.
That is just creepy to me.
Tumbling down. Even the American flag that was posted up has left the chat, honey. People don't know that Jake Haro has people, familiares, that live in this complex here. Oh, there it goes there. So your name is?
Lori.
Lori from Cabazon, California.
Yes.
How long have you lived here, Lori?
Since September.
This year?
This year.
Oh. Have you heard of what happened over at the Haro residence?
Yes.
And how has that affected you?
It affected me in the long run because I've got kids myself,
Mhm.
and it just, I don't see how anybody can hurt a child.
Did you ever see Jake or Rebecca Haro?
No.
So you never seen Emmanuel?
No.
Mhm.
I might have seen Manuel because I seen a little boy over here named Manuel.
When?
What in the hell are you doing, brother? If she just said she ain't even seen the parents, how's she gonna see a 7-month-old baby? What in the hell is going on here? What is even happening here? What is even this? What is he doing, y'all?
When she used to live here.
Who lived here?
His sister.
Jake's sister lived here?
Yeah.
Do you know when she moved?
Hold on, I thought she just said she didn't know. I thought she just said she never seen them before, but now she know his sister. I'm confused. They said she lying. She not in her right mind. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell she talking about. It seems like he interviewing a. You smoke crack, don't you? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's loose.
And she moved about like 3 or 4 months ago.
Oh, okay. So there is a connection to this property and the Harrow family.
Yeah.
Do you know where they moved to?
No, I don't.
Do y'all think any of this shit is true? What the fuck he's doing? I don't know what he got going. $40. I don't know what he got going on here.
You never seen the sister come back through here again?
No.
Do you know anybody else here that might know Jake? Or
No.
Okay. So how did it affect you again? Tell us. Like now after they have been arrested.
I'm glad it happened
Why are you interviewing her?
because the simple fact that it's like now justice will be served. Now they can only find the body, so Manuel can get his
Peace on this earth.
Peace. And I'll be more happier, much happier.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
That was very odd and awkward. I'm gonna be real. That was an odd and awkward interaction.
Hi. I'm a news reporter. Yeah. No, unfortunately, no. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
What the hell are you doing? You just went to someone's window or interviewed them from the window and talking about you a news report. What in the hell is going on, gang?
So, have you ever seen Jake or Rebecca around here? The parents?
No, I cannot say outrightly no.
What in the? I'm confused. Right, Javon?
Do you know anybody that in this property that knows them?
No, I do not believe they do.
Oh, okay.
No.
So nobody ever came around here asking for them, or?
No, they have not. If they could see the cameras and that.
Did you show them?
Well, I tried to, but they couldn't get it up. They couldn't show the film of the trash can.
Oh, the trash can.
Man, I am genuinely confused, gang. I'm being serious. Like, I'm not even being funny. I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is weird.
Yeah, because I guess they threw the baby's clothes in there or something.
Like, you're clout chasing off this baby big time, brother.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
So people were here investigating that rumor as a possible factual lead, quite possibly?
Yes, sir.
What trash can was that, ma'am?
A couple of weeks ago, before I went to the hospital when Channel 3 station came out.
Eddie from Channel 3?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Eddie.
Yeah. He came
You
out,
said shout out to Eddie.
knocked on my door when the paramedics were here taking me.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Because I have bad anxiety attack.
Uh-huh. Are you good? Are you okay now?
Well, yeah, no. My husband has court date and he needs to get released.
Brother, you literally are talking to a lady through a window right now. What are we doing here?
In Tehachapi, I have a lot of stuff on Tehachapi State Prison.
Tehachapi has entered the chat.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. I know you just can't make this shit up. Bro, what are you? This is diabolical.
On the tira. What trash can exactly was it? Oh, this trash can here. I'm gonna go look.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
What was your name?
My name's Janet Julian.
Thank you, Shannon.
Janet.
Oh, Janet. Thank you, Janet.
You're welcome, sir.
Bye. The trash can
And you just gave the girl address up and Lord have mercy.
has entered the chat. Now, it's quite convenient.
Going up to someone looking like that saying I'm a news reporter is crazy. The nastiest work. That is some of the nastiest work.
That on the 14th is actually trash day on the Tira. The Moreno Valley landfill has entered the chat. I don't see no baby clothes here, Holmes, but August 14th, wait a minute.
What the fuck?
Ma'am, what day is trash day here? Tuesday.
Yeah.
So Tuesday was the 12th.
Yeah.
So the baby was reported missing on the 14th. So if they wanted to throw the baby in the trash can, they would have had to have thrown him on Tuesday, correct?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Bye.
This is nasty work. This is real nasty work right here, y'all.
We're headed to the dump in Moreno Valley. So we came up with a new clue that Tuesday is trash day for the dumpsters and Thursday is trash day for the trash. Now, I remember seeing trash at the back of the property and I just came back just to see if in fact there is a trash can there. All signs are taking me to the dumpster in Moreno Valley, where this trash goes from California on the field. Oh, the trash cans have entered the trap.
Yeah, this is nasty work, y'all. I'm gonna be real. This is real nasty work right here.
Now you see what's going on here at the Haro residence. The dump has entered the chat. Dun dun dun. Coincidentally, there's a dumping ground right along Gilman Springs Road in the Badlands in Moreno Valley. We're on our way there next to see if
Big Baby says he's real loose and something ain't right. Thank you for the 5-piece, Big Baby. Salute. You right. Something ain't right. But hey, you know how we get down over here. We gonna figure it out.
in fact my sources and my theory is correct. I on the tira. The Badlands have entered the chat here along Gilman Springs Road.
What do y'all think about this dude, bro? Tell me in the chat, if you could have one word to describe this man, what would you say?
In Moreno Valley at the Wasteland Disposal Center. We're gonna go see if there's been any activity there, not Lance Canyon, here in the Badlands. Dispensa on the tira. It's just so sad that little Emmanuel is in this canyon and there's absolutely nothing that we can do about it.
Money to my cholo.
We're gonna go see if there is any activity along Gilman Springs Road in the Badlands, where authorities believe, quite possibly, that little Emmanuel might have lived his last moments on this earth. Spence on the tira. This portion of our story brings us to the Badlands disposal site here in Moreno Valley. Now, Tuesday is trash day for dumpsters, which you've seen there, where allegedly stories came out that little clothes were found in the dumpster. We talked to the lady, you heard it yourself. And by the way, I made a comment on a live and I mentioned Hector Haro, and I come to understand he was cremated, so I retract that statement. I was thinking about the cousin and tying into everything else, and people were obviously throwing speculation to be looking in the grave of the cousin and whatnot. And so I apologize if I got the cousin and the brother mixed up. But you can see here that the dumpster has entered the chat. Check it out. Is there a foreman I could talk to or anybody on the record? Was there any police activity here in the last few days that you could talk about?
No, there hasn't been a police activity.
You were never asked to keep it hush-hush with sheriff's deputies?
What the? Wait, what the hell did he just ask this man?
That you could talk about?
No, there hasn't been a police activity.
You were never asked to keep it hush-hush with sheriff's deputies checking the landfill for quite possible Emmanuel Haro?
No. As far as that, we haven't had any activity here, so there's really not much we can speak on because there's nothing been going on here regarding.
So that's just absolute no.
Yeah, no. We haven't had nothing about it.
Are you guys tied in? Is this the same landfill as the Badlands?
The Lance Canyon.
The Lance Canyon? So it all ties in together?
It doesn't tie in, but we are Riverside County. So
Can you drive from here to there without going through the 60?
Go around.
You have to go around. Okay, so no activity on this side. Okay, thank you very much.
Nothing around that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, but
Oh, thank you, brother. And so we got reports from a constituent that said, in fact, they did come through here and that workers were told not to speak to anybody. Now, we don't know if the Riverside County Solid Waste Management Facility has been questioned, or by the looks of it, I don't see any police activity here. But then again, it is a very, very huge landfill, as you can see here on the Tira. Wow.
Man. What do y'all think about that? I don't know. That was crazy work. That was really nasty work. I ain't gonna lie. That's some of the nastiest work I've seen. That's crazy work. He was doing some weird shit. Y'all been told to keep it hush hush? Like what?
Little Emmanuel has captured the hearts of not only the Inland Empire, but of the country and the world. Poor Emmanuel should be here enjoying his beautiful life. We are at his vigil here in Cabazon, California, and it's just so beautiful to see that the community, in fact, has left. Since I came, it was about to like right there when I came, and now I'm gonna show you fine folks at home from Cabazon exactly what is going on. Check it out. You can see here at the home in Cabazon, California, little Emmanuel has entered the chat.
You gotta stop saying that, bro. It's getting weird at this point.
Beautiful, beautiful display of love and hate and affection and justice and awe. This little boy, you can see the little tears on his face.
This is just getting weird, y'all.
The vigil continues here on the Tira, and you can see here, we love this little boy so much that his memory will live with us throughout on the Tira. Justice for baby Emmanuel can be seen, heard, and felt throughout here. Wow. And now,
what the fuck was that, bro?
You see here all these wonderful mementos and hopes for justice from little Emmanuel on the Tira. Some of the candles here need to be picked up. I'm sure some of our constituents will take care of that. I myself.
They say he using that mic for everything other than a mic. Like, look, bro, put the mic down. That mic don't even work, I don't think. But let's continue.
I want to give you guys an insight as to, we're curious to see from the perspective of the memorial here. Now that there is daylight, I wanted to come. You can see that there is a hole.
Said that mic is just a prop.
And a pickaxe. I haven't been back to the property since the day I passed out, and you see that the memorial has grown so big that it has taken up the entire side of this property here. So many pictures here along Ramona Street in Cabazon, California. You can see Emmanuel there sleeping. Hola, adios.
What the fuck? Why would you say like this? That is creepy to me.
And I think that's just about the most beautiful picture that I've seen of Emmanuel. I will take that with me to my dreams, as I'm sure we all will, here in Cabazon, California. So much love amongst so much hatred. What I want to see is this stroller that I haven't seen for myself, but today that all changes. We are at the property in Cabazon. Emmanuel Haro has entered the chat. Dispensa on the tira. When you come to the property here in Cabazon, California, 50008.
Yo, this dude is, I'm sorry, this is just becoming like very weird. Put him on blast, said this dude think this is a joke. This is a joke to him. Yeah, this is definitely a joke. At some point, they're like, bro, this ain't funny. I don't know. This is just weird.
Ramona on the tira. This is where the stroller should have been. We are right up to the property now. We are zooming in with our zooming in capabilities here at top maximum capacity level. The beach cruisers have entered the chat. Dispensa on the tira. And so all of you true crimers on the tira can make your own assumption. Wow. Just wow. This is Jake.
I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't know. I'm just gonna let y'all talk, man. I don't know. It's crazy work.
Haro's house here in Cabazon, California. You can see here where the stroller would have been. What in the world? More clues. I don't know if there's anything here that you fine folks at home can possibly put together. Any clues?
Man, we seen some Smuckers, Uncrustables, and some fry cartridges. I don't know. I'm confused.
But geez Louise, there's a hat on this side. So there's debris.
Kimbo said he knows too much. I'm starting to feel like that too.
Strewn throughout. You can see here more trash on the tira. Uno. And oh, whose room was this? Does anybody know whose room this was? What? Look at that. Look at this home, you guys. This is like real old school. The barbed wire has entered the chat here in Cabazon, California. Now, I don't expect to find this baby. I am here only to bring you fine folks at home a better understanding of the property, where little Emmanuel lived. This is the Harrow residence. This is about as close as we're gonna get. The back door. Oh no. Oh, what is that? Oh, there's a swarm of bees in the home. You can see that the bees have entered the chat on the tira. Oh yeah. Now you can see where they have excavated. The police have now, oh, somebody was digging up holes. Oh yeah. You can see here on the tira. From this vantage point, you can see the side of the home here. It's just a very, very eerie looking place. This is part of the property as well. There's holes throughout the tira, homie. Wow. Just wow. These are some of the... This is the gate we all remember seeing where the bear cat came in and hola! The gate came...
That is weird, bro. I don't know that. Just keep saying that is kind of crazy because that's allegedly what the mom said she heard, but still something happened to that baby. So I don't get the joke, but maybe y'all do.
Tumbling down. Even the American flag that was posted up has left the chat, homie. With our zooming in capabilities here on the tira, and you can see along the property tears from heaven at the Harrow residence. What happened here? What happened here in Cabazon, California? Hi. How you doing?
Hi, good.
Hi,
I've
hi.
been watching you.
Oh, thank you guys.
I know, I've been paying attention. Yeah.
Hi. Such a sad. Is this his stroller from inside? Do anybody know where this came from? Because there was a stroller back there, remember? And there's not there no more. You guys don't know if that's it? It's the only stroller here. It looks like it could be Emmanuel's stroller. Somebody moved it from the inside of the house and they put it here on the tira.
I don't know, gang. I don't know about this one.
From the Emmanuel Harrow residence here in Cabazon, California, you can see that the community has showed out once again for this little boy. We will never stop caring. We will never stop looking, no matter who tells us You don't hold that power, you don't hold that right, you don't hold that office on the tira. And so, from your lowly civil servant, Ahmed Belloso, now back to you.
Man. What do y'all think about that on the tira? On the tira. I don't know, gang. That was a crazy. That's a crazy story. I'm gonna be real. That is one crazy story that is out there right now. Yeah, so that's how we got to cover this situation. It's sad and unfortunate what happened to baby Emmanuel. Hopefully he gets justice. I don't know that they're ever gonna find that body. I don't know that they're gonna be able to find these parents. Well, I know they're gonna be able to find them guilty. I don't know if they're gonna be able to determine what happened to the baby or what happened to the baby's body. But allegedly, he told somebody he either dug the body up somewhere out in the freeway, or he disposed of it in a trash can. I think that they might have gotten GPS coordinates and seen his phone pinging somewhere for too long, and maybe that's why they went to that the freeway at the spot where they alleged that they were possibly the body could have been. I don't know if he told some inmate that shit. I don't know. I don't know that he even spoke to an inmate, but this situation is sad and unfortunate, and we're praying for baby Emmanuel. I don't know that he had anybody that loved him, because no one even knows when the last time they seen him. Allegedly, nobody ever seen the baby, so there's no pictures of him with other people, so this is just weird. The guy covering the case, I don't know, it was kind of cringe. I don't know, maybe he means well. I don't know. It's up for y'all to debate. It was just a lot of weird moments in there for me. It was kind of strange. So we're gonna continue to eyeball this situation. I don't know much more that's gonna come from this, because I don't really believe they're gonna find that body. So without a confession, I think that this is gonna be a bodiless trial. And I think that the mom and dad are going to take it to trial, and I don't see either one of them changing their story as far as switching on each other and throwing the other person under the bus. It hasn't happened yet. I would assume it's not going to happen. So happy birthday, Angie. Salute. Happy birthday. I think that's Angie, the moderator. Salute to Angie, man. I didn't know it was your birthday, but salute to you. Salute. Happy birthday. Everybody tell Angie happy birthday. Salute. All right. So yeah, y'all. Like I said, we're going to continue to cover this situation, and we'll keep a close eye on it. That is the update for tonight, and we will definitely keep covering this situation. How long have we been on here? Yeah. We got a solid live that we did tonight. So salute to everybody for pulling up to check out this story. Not sure when Chat Trap going back live, but maybe tomorrow they'll pop out or something. But we'll keep y'all updated on that. And as far as me, I got that new 2K, so I definitely will be streaming on 2K tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming it on here and over on Kick. So I'll be streaming a few times tomorrow, and I got some people to air out tomorrow too as well. So be looking forward to me popping out and definitely airing some people out on live tomorrow. So definitely put them on blast. I think you know what's coming tomorrow, because it's some motherfuckers finna get aired out. So we're gonna keep that a big buck. We're gonna save that for then. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of promo before I get off here tonight. So be on the lookout tomorrow, because it's definitely going down. It's going down tomorrow. So y'all definitely be over here tomorrow, because we're going to address some stuff over here tomorrow. Put them on blast. I don't know if you had got my number earlier. I need you to hit me up, though. I got to chop it up with you. Text my phone. Salute to you. You know what I'm talking about? They said he aired out. Not aired out. Yeah, somebody getting aired out tomorrow. So, yeah, y'all might as well get ready for that. So, salute to the chat, man. I love each and every one of y'all more than y'all will ever know. This your boy, Big Ratchet. That's Ratchet Gang. And this is RatchetTV. Get y'all some rest. What time? I don't know. You know me. It'll be Saturday, so it'll be sometime during the day. I'm pretty sure it'll be during the day, because I want to stream my 2K game tomorrow. It said, I called and text. I think you got me blocked. Shit. Hit me up on Facebook. If you got Facebook, KVNGGREG. KVNGGREG. I'm going to put it in the chat. Hit me up on Facebook. That's here, I'm gonna put my Facebook in the chat. Damn. He said you called in text. I ain't getting no text messages. All right. Oh no, my bad. That's not. Hold on, it's not that. Damn it. That's not it. That ain't how you spell it. Hold on. It's spelled KVNG. Why the hell? It's KVNG. My bad. KVNG. There you go. KVNGGREG. There. Boom. That's my Facebook. Let me retract that first one. Remove that. Yeah, that second one. That's my Facebook right there. KVNGGREG. All right. Yeah, hit me up on Facebook. Send me a message. All right. So salute to everybody in the chat. We definitely, thank you, Brandy. We definitely gonna be back tomorrow during the daytime. I'm gonna be streaming all day tomorrow. So y'all be on the lookout tomorrow. All right, bet. Hit me up right now. All right, I'm gonna get up off here. I'm gonna go get my dogs. I'm hungry. It's time for me to go. Good night. Salute to everybody. Good night to everybody in the chat. I love y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up. Make sure y'all go get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's live. Please and thank you. I appreciate all y'all for pulling up, man. Salute to all of Ratchet Gang, man. We had a good night. Salute to everybody. RIP to baby Emmanuel, man. Y'all get in the comment section.